subscribe, like the video, and, if possible, join Patreon. But if you don't have much money, you can support the channel by watching the novels on euroaudiobooks.com. Remember that you can participate in the polls so that your favorite novel gets published for free.
Synopsis. In the 60th year of Konoha, it was the first time that Naruto took the Chunin exam in this session of Genin. The sudden appearance of the horror quiz game made the original collapse from this moment. Obito, take care of me. Why did I declare the 4 World Wars live broadcast all over the world, collect 10 tails, and be tricked by Madara into doing an MLM for 18 years? Madara. I also want to know who made everyone see me being gnawed out again and again. And many more. Black Zetsu, give Laozi not to run. Itachi, please let me go. I have to make my stupid brother hate me. It's not appropriate for you to broadcast live all over the world, and I will always love him or something sure sway. Well, I'm just diving in the water. Let's not live broadcast around the world. Can it be done? Sasuke, shame. Am I actually the reincarnated chakra of Uchiha Madara, who was deceived by the black mud for a lifetime? Killing Naruto is my destiny. Madara, boy, do you think of dancing too? Izuna, who would dare to insult me, San? Chapter 1 Horror Q&A. Wrong answer means death in the first written test of the Chunin exam. Ibixi's 10th question brought huge psychological pressure to the Genin's present. A strange voice that did not sound like a human voice suddenly sounded in the classroom. Question. During the 4th Ninja War, in order to protect someone, the captain of the Ninja Alliance did something like, "Come and chop off my head after the war is over." Speech. The sudden sound startled not only the Genins who were taking the exam, but also Ibiki and other invigilators. The 4th Ninja War. There must be a limit to pranks. Obviously, the recovery work from the 3rd Ninja World War is still going on. So where did the 4th Ninja World War come from? Rule 1. There are 3 opportunities, and all life forms in the field are eligible to answer. 2. Life forms that answer incorrectly will be immediately deprived of their vital signs as punishment. 3. After the 3 independent life forms were deprived of their vital signs, this Q&A ended and the domain barrier opened automatically. 4. If you answer the correct answer within the opportunity, the domain barrier will automatically open, and the answer will receive corresponding rewards. On the blackboard in the examination room, clear words appeared one after another out of thin air, bringing the already tense atmosphere to a strange climax. Ibixi signaled to Genin, an invigilator by the window, who cautiously pushed open the glass window. The window was open, but it was obvious that his hand could not reach out of the window anyway, as if there was an invisible wall blocking it. Some candidates saw this scene. The 2 people closest to the door were Genin from Kusanagi village. They immediately stood up and pushed open the door of the examination room to check, but they were also blocked by an invisible wall. Hey, are these additional test questions? Invigilator Sangyu. One of the 2 Kusanagi standing at the door asked Ibiki. No, I dash. Before Ibishi could finish speaking, a strange voice sounded again. Wrong answer. Bang! The grass ninja who spoke earlier seemed to be pinched by a pair of invisible hands. After being compressed to the extreme, it exploded into a ball of blood. The bloody smell immediately spread throughout the examination room. People who were close to him were already spattered with blood, except for Gaara, whose sand helped him keep out the dirty blood. There were all Genin present who had never experienced war or killing. Girls like Haruno Sakura vomited immediately. Male candidates also vomited. Even if they didn't vomit, they were all affected by the experience of passing by Shinigami at this moment. His face turned pale with fear. Naruto covered his mouth and nose, pushing back the acid that had risen several times from his throat. He subconsciously looked at the situation of Sasuke and little Sakura. Little Sakura was lying under the desk retching. Sasuke was so close that he was spattered with blood. His face was pale, and he was dripping with cold sweat. His dilated pupils were trembling in confusion, like it's like entering a nightmare that I least want to recall. Dosang, Kasang. Although they have already gone through the B-level mission in the Land of Waves, they have never experienced such bloodshed. Even if they are close to Shinigami, they have Kakashi-sensei protecting them. The invigilator, Genin, immediately recovered from the shock and covered the mouth of the candidate who was about to scream. Ibixi gestured to silence everyone. The terrifying face and scars on his head did serve as a deterrent. Most of the candidates saw that this situation was unexpected in the Konoha Chunin exam, and they lay tremblingly on the table, praying for relief as soon as possible. Award. The voice sounded for the third time, making Naruto tremble. In fact, not only him, but also the proctor Genin froze and instinctively made defensive movements. A white ninja sword floating in midair appeared on the podium. Reward 1. Chakra Sword. Elite Genin known as Konoha's White Fanged Hatake Sakomo's ninja sword. Konoha's White Teeth. Some Konoha shinobi students who were still Genin after taking the exam have heard of this name. Rumor has it that they shined brightly in the Second Ninja War, and even several adults known as Sannin were not as good as him. Of course, there are also Konoha shinobi people who despise him when he hears this name. He is a bad guy who can't even implement the ninja code. Naruto covered his mouth and was stunned. Hatake, the same last name as Mr. Kakashi? Reward 2. Are there other rewards? Corresponding to the respondent's ninja village, 10 dead ninjas are randomly selected. The respondent can choose one person at will. Resurrected. Oh my god, everyone was stunned. Can this really be done? Real or fake? Resurrection? As a ninja, surviving in this ninja world that has been baptized by wars, everyone has too many regrets. Originally made of chakra, or the legendary Konoha's White Fang Saber, is already a valuable treasure worthy of the lives of 3 unknown Genin. But this reward, too, is simply something that makes people willing to risk their lives to try it. Although you can only choose one person to be resurrected from a randomly selected quota, but since it has been limited to past ninjas, there is still a certain probability that you can draw the outstanding combat power of the past, such as Hatake Sakomo. If Konoha can resurrect him, didn't his voice in the ninja world instantly rise to a higher level? What's more, if you draw the shadow of a village? But what if he got the answer wrong? Looking at the scarlet color at the door, no one dared to try to answer casually. Ibixi cast her eyes on Genin in the examination room, who was wearing braids. The child of the Nara family, let's call him Nara Shikamaru, is the son of Nara Shikaku, the current leader of the Nara clan. The average merit score of that clan is above 8. If it is a direct line, it has not been lower than the maximum value of 10 so far. Can we bet Konoha's hope on him? But if you get the answer wrong, after all, he is the next heir of the Nara clan. After thinking about it, Ibiki secretly wrote a note and passed it to Shikamaru during the inspection. Tell me what you think the answer is. Shikamaru received the note and immediately understood what Ibiki meant, and he had a little more respect for this unknown Konoha Genin. Although it's troublesome, let's think about it carefully. It's so troublesome. Looking at the clouds outside the window, Shikamaru sighed inwardly. For those who don't know how to be eunuchs, please collect QVQ. I, Master of Dreams, will definitely make everyone in the original work happy. Chapter 2. Generous rewards and card drawing decision. As time passed, the situation here must have alarmed Hokage. Outside the window stood Hokage's Umbu, Kakashi, Asuma, Guy, Yui Hong, and other instructors. Genin also gathered at the door of the classroom. They could see the situation in the classroom, and Kakashi exchanged information with Ibiki using Konoha's unique gestures. The air in the proctoring classroom was oppressive and dull. Candidates from other villages have already directed their grievances against Konoha. Although they cannot speak out, they have no problem activating ninjutsu. Invigilator Genin has stopped 3 Genin from his village who were intent on attacking Konoha candidates. The death toll so far stands at 2. All are grass ninjas. The first person who shouted, "Invigilator Sang," loudly was judged to have answered incorrectly and was wiped out. The other person's ninjutsu spread to Gaara, and even the Invigilator Genin didn't have time to stop it and turned into a bloody mess. It was Gaara's sandbound coffin. There's Gaara's detonating talisman that will detonate at an unknown time inside, and there's an unknown life form harvester outside. This Genin is facing the greatest threat. Current participants: Sand Shinobi Village, 30 people Rain Shinobi Village, 21 people Grass Ninja Village, 6 people, 2 died, Taki Ninja Village, 6 people Konoha Village, 87 people sound Ninja Village. 3 people even regardless of the prize. 2 more people need to die to open the barrier. The worst outcome is Ibiki and other Genin, who have accepted the inheritance of the will of fire, have already realized this, and they and another invigilator Genin have filled these 2 vacancies. Naruto was lying on the table, cold sweat dripping down his blonde hair, squinting his eyes like a little fox caught in the rain, scratching his scalp anxiously. At the moment, there was a blank test paper with no words touched. From the corner of his eye, he could see that little Sakura had barely stopped retching, but her face was ugly. Sasuke's condition was actually worse than that of little Sakura. This was something Naruto didn't expect. The one who always walked in front of him, the guy, seemed to have been replaced by some painful memory, and he looked very bad. The situation of little Sakura and Sasuke left Naruto scratching his head, and he was so worried that he desperately wanted to end the exam. Otherwise, give up. Take the exam again next year. As naive as Naruto, he selectively forgot about the previous events and thought he could get out as long as he finished the exam. The rough little hand slowly raised. Naruto was holding back his strength in his heart. He didn't want to give up. He didn't want to continue to be looked down upon. And he didn't want to be called a coward by Sasuke again. From before the Chunin exam started, everyone was Sasuke's friend, and they all wanted to challenge Sasuke. In fact, Sasuke is getting stronger and stronger, and Naruto is also very happy. But Sasuke is like a bright light that always attracts other people's attention. Unlike him, who tries his best to impress everyone and can barely get a roll of eyes or 2. He lay on the table and tugged on the forehead protector on his head in a muffled voice. This was his habit. When he wanted to cry, he would pull down the goggles to prevent others from seeing his weak side. The texture of steel is different from his goggles and different from other Genin's forehead protector. Uzumaki Naruto's forehead protector is the forehead protector of his former ninja school teacher, Yumino Irika. That day, he was deceived by Mizuki. He stole the book of sealing and injured Mr. Irika. He learned why the villagers of Konoha hated him. And at the same time, he also learned that he was the Nine-Tails demon fox who killed Mr. Irika's parents. However, he is not a demon fox. He is a student recognized by me from Konoha Shinobi Village. Uzumaki Naruto, pinch your forehead protector tightly. The most unexpected ninja suddenly slapped his raised hand on the table. Uzumaki Naruto. I will never run away. Even if I am a Genin for the rest of my life, I will show it to you as a Hokage. Let the whole village recognize it. Tell me about my existence. Excitedly, he shouted out in a strange and somewhat rustic manner, as if drinking to strengthen his courage. When he finished shouting, when he felt that the air was no longer solid and his breathing became smoother, all eyes were focused, and the air was even thinner than before. Genin, the invigilator near him, had dead eyes. Kakashi's eyes outside the classroom suddenly widened, and he felt that the blood in his body was cold and flowing backwards. He subconsciously murmured, as if calling out to his teacher, the fourth Hokage, for help. However, they Umbu and the sealing class had tried their best, but they are unable to shake the barrier that separates the inside and outside of the classroom. They can't even sense the existence of any chakra on the barrier. Obviously, this is not a power they know at all. In the classroom, little Sakura was frightened. Sasuke opened a Sharingan instantly. The black Magatama trembled slightly in the red pupils. If you look carefully, you can see that it has a tendency to split into a third hook. What to do? Who can stop him? Is he going to lose again? Just like that full moon night. On the other side, Ibiki quickly formed seals with his hands, trying to protect Naruto with his torture ninjutsu. Answer. Time seemed to be slowed down. Everyone was staring at Naruto and was overwhelmed with anxiety, and Naruto had already gone blank and started to go through the revolving door. Damn it, my dream has not been realized yet. I have not become a Hokage, and I have not been able to defeat Sasuke and let him recognize me. Correct. Bang! The celebration ribbons scattered out of thin air, falling on Naruto's head with a bit of joy. Most afraid of the sudden silence of the air, the candidates around Naruto still stiffly kept moving away from him. The expression on Abiki's scarred face was extremely wonderful. No one expected this result. Prize 1. Chakra Knife, which has been bound to the person who answered correctly. Unless the host gives it to others, it cannot be damaged, dropped, or lost. Before the host transfers it to others, if the host dies, the props will be automatically destroyed. Please be informed. No. How come he got the correct answer? Could it be that Naruto said that there was a word in this long string of words whose pronunciation was similar to the correct answer? Or is it the Hokage that the commander-in-chief of the Ninja Alliance wants to protect? If you put it this way, the commander-in-chief of the Fourth Ninja War is most likely a ninja from Konoha. That makes sense. The above are the conspiracy theories that flash through the hearts of the ninjas in each village. Kakashi stared blankly at what floated in front of Naruto's eyes. Konoha's white-fanged chakra knife. The knife was obviously damaged, but it was placed in his room, reminding him of the mistakes he made back then, and recalling the person who was forever buried under the rocks. At this moment, Naruto looked dull and even stupid, looking blankly at the white ninja sword in front of him. What on earth is going on? Thinking of the strange oral habit, he narrowed his eyes and tilted his head like a little fox, thinking about when he had given the correct answer. Shikamaru, Chai, and others who were familiar with Naruto were finally relieved. They had almost been scared to death just now. Shikamaru shook his head and chuckled. Naruto must be very lucky. That's great. Naruto-kun. The white-eyed girl sitting next to her had been completely stunned just now, but now she came to her senses and was so happy that she burst into tears. Sasuke and little Sakura breathed a sigh of relief. The one at the end of the crane. Sasuke cursed and slumped down in his seat unconsciously. Naruto, who had regained his energy, grabbed the chakra knife and said, "Ah, I, Mr. Naruto, am indeed destined to become a Hokage man. Sooner or later, you will all recognize my words." Gaara glanced at the noisy guy who was showing off with a chakra knife but almost cut himself down and gave a pertinent comment. Idiot. Marino Ihiki. Obviously, the person in charge of the first exam no longer knew how to continue the exam and needed to ask Master Hokage for instructions as soon as possible. While the people in the room were still thinking about keywords such as Fourth Ninja War, Ninja Alliance, and the person the commander must protect even to the death, the second reward also followed. Prize 2. Please choose one of the following people to resurrect. Chapter 3. Can Golden Flash be resurrected? Third generation Sama. Seeing the third Hokage coming in person, Kakashi, Guy, Yuhi Kunai, Irika, and others bowed their heads in salute. Sarutobi Hiruzen waved his hand, took off the tobacco bag in his mouth, and said solemnly, "Isn't the barrier opened yet?" No, this may not be a barrier or an illusion, and I can't even feel Chakra's reaction. Umbu, wearing a bare-face mask, reported to him slowly from the darkness. Could it be a sealing technique? The old man's face was filled with concentration as he recalled seeing Naruto yelling regardless in the crystal ball. He almost failed to keep the agreement with Minato and Kushina. Standing here at this moment, third generation felt that he was getting too old, and his heart really couldn't bear it, and decided that he would seriously criticize that kid in the future. In the classroom, Naruto's joyous and silly manner infected the others, making the atmosphere quickly break away from the depression. Even though there was still the smell of blood around, even Genin should be somewhat aware of this. Bang, 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 accompanied by several dull, loud noises in succession. Prize 2. Please choose one of the following people to resurrect. 10 wooden coffins rose out of thin air. Can the dead really be resurrected? The ninjas in each village looked at the coffin in front of them in shock. According to what that thing said, 10 dead ninjas are randomly selected from the ninja village corresponding to the respondent. The scope is Konoha and is limited to ninjas. That is to say, there will be no civilians, and ninjas almost never die. Their fate is to die in missions or hatred. Naruto's childish Adam's apple rolled up and down. He didn't know what the situation was now, so he asked him to choose a coffin at random. Boom! The coffin board of the first wooden coffin suddenly fell down. A male ninja wearing the usual Konoha Genin costume stood in the wooden coffin. There were obvious cracks on his gray face, like soil lacking moisture. The male ninja had his eyes closed. The body was intact, and there were no serious wounds. The cause of his death could not be seen. Is it a more advanced, impure world reincarnation? Orochimaru, who was hiding among the grass ninjas with living corpse reincarnation, looked at him greedily. Who is this person? Even Ibiki, who was present, and Kakashi, who was outside, did not recognize each other. But the older third Hokage knew him, and Orochimaru had also met this male ninja when he was young. Danzo, third generation, exclaimed. Orochimaru's eyes narrowed, and it turned out to be him. If it was impure world reincarnation's art, then the manipulator behind this game could actually find his genetic fragments and indeed had some ability, or did he use other methods? For example, using the genes of his son Kato Dan for atavism? Boom! Before he could think about the feasibility of this method, the coffin board of the next wooden coffin was also snapped. Orochimaru, who always maintained an objective smile, was stunned. The third generation took a drag on their pipe and did not answer Mitarashi Anko's question about who the boy about Naruto's age was. Then the third, fourth, until the 10th coffin was open one after another. Drink, real or fake? It's actually after each wooden coffin revealed its owner. There were similar exclamations inside and outside the classroom. When the 10th coffin was opened, the sound instantly turned into a neat gasp. With short blonde hair and a slightly too delicate face for a man, every ninja in any village has seen him at least in textbooks. Konoha's Golden Flash. Konoha Genin wears a short-sleeved god robe over his uniform. His bright blonde hair has not dimmed due to the dirt. Namake's Minato, who lowered his head slightly and did not wake up in time, has the aura that one man is invincible. Minato Sensei. Fourth generation. Lord Hokage, with his eyes wandering between the wooden coffin and Naruto, Kakashi thought to himself that he was the most unexpected ninja, that it was really possible to resurrect his teacher. The mortality rate of the ninja profession is very high, especially in the first, second, and third ninja wars. Ninjas are tools of war. Ninja lives are the stepping stones to victory and can be extracted from countless deaths. How lucky you were to meet a Kage, especially when that Kage is Naruto's. The people of Konoha, even the invigilator Genin, couldn't help but sit up from his chair and took 2 steps forward excitedly. Minato-sama. Its fourth Hokage, Namake's Minato-sama. After regaining some consciousness, everyone's eyes were once again focused on Uzumaki Naruto. Konoha Shinobi, whose throat was so tight with excitement, was choked up and speechless at this time. Only a pair of eyes showed clear direction. It's clear how to choose. Naruto himself was completely stunned. He did not expect that the owner of the 10th wooden coffin was the 4th Hokage. With Hokage as his target, he naturally admires and yearns for every Hokage. Not to mention that the 4th Hokage is a hero who sacrificed his life to save Konoha village from the Demon Fox attack, even if he once scrawled graffiti on Hokage Rock as a prank. Painting, but actually I really respect them, especially seeing the 4th generation himself. Naruto had an indescribable, wonderful feeling, but he subconsciously classified this feeling as guilt because Gushuemu said that Naruto was the demon fox that killed the 4th generation. Konoha Shinobi, who was closest to Naruto, pushed him hard, almost causing Naruto to stumble. What are you doing? I told you. What are you still hesitating about, Lord 4th generation? You. The word demon fox almost blurted out. I know it. Among the people in this row, he only knew the 4th Hokage. If he didn't choose him, there would be no one to choose from. Just when Naruto turned around and was about to walk towards the 4th Hokage's wooden coffin, a familiar blue figure rushed forward even faster. Kaizen. Uchiha, calm down. 5 Genin jointly held Sasuke, and the young orphan Uchiha could not move at all. Sasuke-kun. Naruto and Sakura quickly rushed to his teammates' sides, fearing they would hurt him. Sasuke struggled instinctively. If several Genin hadn't been strong enough to hold on tightly, they believed that Sasuke would have launched an attack and rushed to the wooden coffin. Sasuke, Naruto followed Sasuke and looked at the wooden coffin next to the fourth Hokage. She was a tall woman dressed in black. She had black hair, and her hair was very similar to Sasuke's. Her face also had some shadow of Sasuke, or said Sasuke looked like her. The relationship between the two is not difficult to guess. The concept of mother is very vague in Naruto's mind. He has never seen his mother. He hesitates to share his special status with anyone in Konoha and is unwilling to be with his mother. He didn't know what it would be like, what mother and son would do or say between them. But that didn't stop Naruto from yearning for family and parents since he was sensible. He pursed his lips. He knew that feeling too well, the loneliness without family. Konoha Genin on the side noticed his hesitation. Uzumaki Naruto, the hand that grabbed Naruto's shoulder, used a lot of force. You know what choice you should make. Don't forget why the fourth generation was sacrificed. The second half of the sentence was not loud, but it made Naruto feel a chill to his bones. That look again. Naruto. Little Sakura looked at Sasuke and then at Naruto. Both teammates were restrained, but she could do nothing. Naruto looked at the fourth Hokage, then at the black-haired woman next to him, and finally his eyes rested on Sasuke. He found that Sasuke was also looking at him. Or, to be exact, a pair of red Sharingans were staring at him closely. Naruto found this multiple-choice question about the prize to be more difficult than any other question on the test paper. His throat was so choked up that it hurt like needles. His eyes once again looked at the fourth Hokage in the wooden coffin. Boy, hey, Uzumaki Naruto, you guy. Not only Genin inside and outside the classroom, but also the remaining 84 Konoha candidates in the examination room were also impatiently urging and pressuring him. There seemed to be someone vaguely cursing him with the words demon fox and monster in a low voice. In his mind, Naruto felt that the space around him was being distorted and squeezed, which made him uncomfortable. Naruto suddenly woke up. It was Sasuke. There was a softness in his voice that he had never heard before, low and hoarse, like a silent sign of weakness, a hopeless plea. Sasuke's face was pale as Naruto had never seen before, and there was no pride and stubbornness in his eyes, only the longing for his family and the pain of reality. All this was seen in Naruto's eyes, but Uchiha Sasuke himself didn't notice it. Suddenly, he saw the man at the end of the crane smiling at him, as if the sun outside the window was too dazzling. Hey, that be D who is hiding behind and manipulating all this. If you can, resurrect Sasuke's mother. I say, I choose her. I mean, if you can really do it, help me resurrect Sasuke's mother-mom. Please resurrect me. The whole audience was briefly suffocated for 1 second. The third Hokage, Hatake Kakashi, who knew everything from the sidelines, stared at Naruto in shock. And Sasuke, who had no hope and knew what to do even if the choice was in his hands, watched numbly as Naruto was smashed to the ground by a Genin's golden head. UBD Demon Fox. The scene suddenly got out of control. It should be said that starting from the inexplicable question of the Fourth Ninja War, this Chunin exam has completely gotten out of control. That Genin violated Article 25 of the Ninja Code. A ninja must not show his feelings under any circumstances. His angry blow caused Naruto's head to smash into the wooden desk and hit the ground. Blood flowed from the blonde hair, stinging someone's eyes and shaking his heart. Confirmation of resurrection. Uchiha Mikoto, a strange sound sounded, indicating that everything was not going to turn around. Chapter 4. Bad Genin, the leader of the rebel ninja. You are not allowed to take action against my subordinates. The pain of broken bones came from the arm that Kakashi grabbed. The anger conveyed from the sullen Kakashi's body made the ninja who attacked Naruto hesitate. But that demon fox boy, Minato sir, he just died. Only one black pupil was exposed, cold-blooded. Kakashi's nickname was not false. He warned the other party in a low voice. You are not qualified to mention Minato sensei's name. Kakashi sensei. The side in front of him was stained with blood, and his head was dizzy with pain. Naruto looked at the bad Genin who suddenly appeared next to him in surprise. If Mr. Kakashi hadn't come, he would have attacked the person who suddenly attacked him. Snort. Kakashi. Sasuke, who was restrained by Ibiki and others, quietly calmed down with his trembling Magatama eyes. Kakashi-sensei. Little Sakura also breathed a sigh of relief because of the teacher's appearance, holding back the scream that almost came out of her mouth. She quickly ran to Naruto and found gauze from the ninja tool bag to bandage him. The soft, white-eyed girl next to her handed over the ointment with both hands. This is Hyuga's ointment. Please, please, please help Naruto can. Hinata? Thank you. Then we're welcome. Little Sakura answered neatly. Over ointment. If you look outside, the young patriarch of the Akamichi clan has his squinted eyes open all year round, and his slender eyes, squeezed by his cheeks, do not look easy to mess with. The young patriarch of the Nara family, the young patriarch Sotenshii, and the daughter of the Yamanaka clan frown and stare. Holding Genin, Akamaru and Kiba's arms whined a warning. Aburame's insect landed on the back of Genin's neck. This year's Genin seems to be scattered, but in fact it is united. Just now, just as the prompt sound confirmed resurrection, Uchiha Mikoto sounded, the transparent wall that the Konoha ceiling class and the barrier class could not eliminate suddenly disappeared. Hatake Kakashi appeared next to Naruto with a powerful force. He grabbed the arm holding Naruto's head with crushing force and stared at the man fiercely. Including Ibiki, the 5 ninjas restraining Uchiha Sasuke bowed to the 3rd Hokage who walked in. The 3rd Hokage just hummed casually, and then the chakra contained in the old body used all its power to pressure Genin, who injured Naruto and almost leaked important information about the ninja village. The reason why the calm lion doesn't show off his power is because he regards the people in his territory as his family, not as a docile kitten. Unlike Kakashi, the 3rd Hokage's aura of being the leader for decades and the fighting power of the shadow of Konoha shocked everyone in the classroom, including Umbu and Jin outside. This also includes Sand Shinobi's trio. Temari and Kankuro suddenly worry about their mission. Gaara finally found something valuable in this farce. He wanted to kill the stronger guy to prove the only value of his existence in this world. The look in the eyes of those Konoha shinobi just now felt very familiar to Gaara, but the subtle feeling was too quick and he didn't catch it. How's it going? Naruto. Kakashi looked at the bloodline on the boy's blonde hair in front of him and felt a helpless feeling of guilt. After losing one after another, Kakashi, who was left alone, seemed strong, but in fact he was just one straw away from breaking him down. A furtive glance at the 4th Hokage in the wooden coffin. Naruto was hurt in front of the teacher. If Mr. Minato and Mrs. Kushina were still alive, they would be heartbroken. Sorry, Mr. Minato and Mrs. Kushina. Sorry, Lin. Sorry, Obito. I can't do anything. Haruno Sakura fixed the bandage. The wound is very small. The front head protector should have played a big role. As she said this, she complained casually, "Idiot Naruto. It always makes people worry. But this time, thank you. Thank you helped Sasuke-kun. Ah, tell me if you know, Sakura-chan, too perfunctory. Oh, it hurts, don't shoot it, I told you." Kakashi watched Naruto narrow his eyes and hold his head as he promised without hesitation. He wiped the bloodline clean and still had a warm smile on his face. The young man only has a little flesh on his face. He thought of the pile of instant noodles and expired milk. If he had nothing to do at night, he would treat Naruto to something to eat. If not, he would just have ramen noodles with a few slices of barbecued pork. He knew that the person who could retain so much blood was Konoha Genin, and the wound on Naruto's head was definitely not just a small wound. It's the power of 9 tails, the resilience Naruto showed in the Land of Waves. Kakashi moved and subconsciously stood between the coffins of Naruto and the 4th Hokage, deceiving himself into thinking that this would make both Minato-sensei and Naruto in the Pure Land feel better. Not bad, Naruto. Kakashi patted Naruto's shoulder and returned to his usual lazy voice. Kakashi squinted his eyes and glanced across everyone in the classroom and landed on the disgusting blood and minced meat. As expected, as the most unexpected ninja, if you hadn't given the correct answer, I'm afraid at least 2 people would have died here. Naruto rubbed his head and giggled. I don't know when I said the correct answer. I said it's so lucky. Oh, by the way, Kakashi-sensei's ninja sword. The third Hokage waved his hand over there, and two Umbu immediately appeared and took the erring Genin away. Reason? As a Konoha Genin, isn't enough to expose Konoha's S-class secrets in front of other village ninjas? It's just that there are too many people in this classroom, and most of them are Genin who are not very enlightened. Even if the third Hokage and Kakashi train hands to suppress them, I am afraid that Naruto's life in Konoha will be more difficult in the future. Even as a Hokage, the old third generation can't do much, because people's hearts can only be changed through friendship. Blind pressure can only bring counter effects, and one day it will bring greater backlash. At that time, even if it is like children like Naruto, can also be swallowed by darkness. Are you okay, Naruto? What? I said, Grandpa third generation. Your expression is so strange. Are you suffering from Alzheimer's disease? Ha ha ha, sorry, Minato, Kushina. The torrential chakra turns into a bright green light. Full of the power of life, the ninth wooden coffin suddenly sprouted fresh branches. Wood style? No, it's not. This is not a wood style that only Shodai can use, but a chakra full of life. Nine Tails, who was asleep inside Naruto, opened his eyes. 6 paths old man. Inyang escaped. As the wooden coffin began to grow again, the woman's eyelids moved slightly. Of course, all this cannot escape Sasuke's pair of Sharingan. Kaizen, he rushed over. This time Ibiki and the others did not stop him. Only third Hokage sighed heavily in his heart. Hearing Sasuke's voice, the woman trembled and opened her eyes. Is it Sasuke? That child with a delicate memory must have suffered a lot when he grew up, right? Mikoto hugged Sasuke, who rushed over and stared at him for a long time before realizing that the third generation and others were not far away, and there were Umbu and Jin's people outside the window. She immediately protected Sasuke behind her and saluted the third generation respectfully and warily. Third generation Sama. What is going on? I don't know the specific situation yet. If you mean why you were resurrected, it was Naruto who made a wish to some mysterious guy hiding behind the scenes and resurrected you. The third Hokage took a puff from his pipe, looked past Uchiha Mikoto towards the 10th wooden coffin, and continued. Between Minato and you, he chose to resurrect you. Not the 4th Hokage, but Namikaze's Minato. He knew that if it was Uchiha Mikoto, it would not be difficult to guess whose child Naruto was. Uchiha Mikoto followed third generation's gaze and looked to the side. Minato. Sasuke, who was hugged by his mother, was stunned. Kaizen's voice was not loud, but he heard it clearly. Kassen, knows Lord 4th Hokage? Calling the 4th Hokage by his first name, it should be more than just acquaintance. Mikoto glanced at the entire classroom and immediately went through the intelligence information he could collect in his mind. She turned back and looked at the only son left behind by her friend. There was gauze in his blonde hair. Although she didn't know the specific situation, she could guess the outcome very well. Naruto-kun. She really felt sorry for her friend's child. Naruto didn't know who his parents were, but how could she not know that a small deviation caused him to lose the opportunity to have a father and also lost the opportunity to regain his status as a son of the 4th Hokage? Her soft call made both Sasuke and Naruto stunned for a moment. Sasuke's mother knows me. Naruto jumped over and bumped Sasuke with his shoulder with a mean look on his face. Hey, could it be that you have been looking at me a long time ago, right? What nonsense are you talking about, you idiot? The arrogant young man who never meant what he said didn't want to respond to that giggling idiot. Besides, before the night of genocide, he didn't even look down on his classmates in school, let alone go home. Tell your parents. Only his family and his brother are the ones he pays attention to. Don't be embarrassed. I told you. I said no more. You big idiot. What did you say? BD Sasuke. Mikoto watched his youngest son quarreling with Kushina's son, his eyes soft and full of sadness. This is the best thing for Sasuke. Don't be tainted with hatred, don't carry family interests, and grow up happily. She looked at Uzumaki Naruto, feeling guilty and helpless, swallowing many unspeakable words in her throat. I'm sorry that you lost the chance to get to know your biological father. I'm sorry that I couldn't protect you instead of Kushina and Minato when you were young. In fact, Uchiha was also the target of public criticism after that. Konoha would not tolerate the intersection between Uchiha and Jinchuriki. Naruto-kun, thank you. Thank you for being friends with Sasuke. Thank you for filling the hole in Sasuke's heart. Kaizen, what are you talking about? Why are you facing that crane? Don't worry. Sasuke's mother. Sasuke will be left to the two wanted to quarrel with each other. But the tears in Makoto's beautiful eyes made them so frightened that they didn't know what they were going to say. Kaizen. Sasuke grabbed his mother's arm anxiously, eyes similar to hers filled with worry. Sasuke. Makoto squatted in front of his son, put his hands on his shoulders, and said with a serious look on his face, "Can you promise, Mom, two things?" Although it was a question, his momentum did not allow Sasuke to refuse. From now on, whether I'm here or not. Kaizen, listen to me, Sasuke. No matter I'm here or not, you have to take good care of Naruto. He is 2 months younger than you, and you are your older brother. To this small request, Sasuke didn't object much except blushing and turning his head. He's not that idiot's brother. Who are you calling an idiot? BD Sasuke. Makoto smiled and said the second thing. Then you must be happy and don't let hatred get to your head at any time. No, I'm going to kill that man. Promise me. Sasuke. Makoto became extremely serious. Why? Itachi killed his parents. Why don't you hate him? He killed you. Oni-chan, Itachi destroyed the Uchiha clan. Sasuke's Sharingan burst into bloodshot eyes in front of Makoto at the end. All the anger turned into sobs. The ninjas in the classroom were stunned by the previous scene of resurrection from the dead, and then the conversation between mother and son reminded them of the Uchiha genocide that shocked the entire ninja world many years ago. Makoto could only stare at his son with a sad face. Promise me? Sasuke. Sasuke pursed his lips. He couldn't accept his mother's request, and he didn't understand why. Anger, incomprehension, sadness, pain, sadness, a mess of emotions mixed together. He turned around suddenly, pushed Naruto aside, and fled from here. Makoto did not pursue her. She knew that she could only speak a few words to Sasuke, even if the third generation allowed it. Other senior officials in Konoha and Danzo would not allow her to tell Sasuke more information. Don't worry, Sasuke's mother. I'll go get that idiot back. Naruto punched his chest with his fist. Although the head tied with gauze looked a little funny, it still gave people a very reliable feeling. What? It's rare to meet my mother. That be D. Sasuke. He muttered softly, with a smile on his lips and inextricable envy in his eyes. Looking at Naruto's running back, Makoto squinted his eyes and raised the corners of his mouth with a warm and slightly sad smile. This child looked so similar to Kushina and Minato. He was indeed their child, the third generation side, and let Naruto chase Sasuke. Ibiki, you continue to be responsible for the rest. Kakashi, I understand, third generation. He will take good care of those two children, no matter what. After coughing, third generation then looked at Uchiha Makoto. Makoto, you and I should go for a walk. Yes, Hokage-sama. Uchiha Makoto stood up. There was no sadness, no anger, no resentment on his face, but only the obedience and resignation of a ninja. As the head of the intelligence department, Ibiki immediately arranged to dismiss the Genin present after third generation and others left, try to negotiate with the guys hiding behind to obtain more information. Naruto chased the angry Sasuke all the way. Next to the large lake used by the Uchiha tribe to practice fire style, the blonde boy looked at the back of the black-haired boy and finally took a step. He really couldn't let that idiot talk alone. In the Hokage office, third Hokage, Danzo, and the two consultants were all present, and the cross-examination of Uchiha Makoto lasted for an hour. They had basically finished all the questions they needed to ask. They already knew the situation from Itachi's mouth, and they just asked again to confirm if there were any other secrets. As for Danzo, he has another purpose, to ensure that Itachi really has no reservations about them. He can never fully trust Uchiha. Is it okay for me to imprison you first? Danzo was the first to make the request in the third generation project. The third Hokage took a puff of cigarette. What if you want Sasuke to know what happened that year? or Itachi to return to the village immediately after getting the news. Oomph. Wouldn't this woman tell those things? Third generation said nothing. He looked at the woman opposite, waiting for her to express her stance. Mikoto suppressed the sadness in his heart when he heard Itachi and the eagerness to know the news about his eldest son. When his dark pupils looked back at the third Hokage, he only had an emotionless rigidity. I swear, I will not disclose the information about Uchiha and Konoha. Tell Sasuke that if Elder Danzo cannot trust me, I am willing to accept the root forbidden technique. She believes that it is normal for there to be some forbidden technique inside the root that makes people lose part of their memory or be unable to say the specified content. No need. I trust you. This time, third generation took the lead in expressing its stance before Danzo. You are still as naive as ever, Hiruzen. Danzo tapped his cane twice. I will not allow third generation Sama. Something happened. A ninja knocked on the door and entered. After being interrupted, Danzo angrily accused the visitor. What do you mean, get out? Wait, what happened? The ninja walked back and forth between the third Hokage and Danzo and reported awkwardly. The fourth ninja wore a man with an orange mask. That man announced the fourth ninja war at the 5 Kage conference. The old man across the street looked stern. Speak clearly. After taking a few breaths to calm down, the ninja who came in reported the situation truthfully an hour ago. Ibiki negotiated with that guy, and no matter what information he asked for, he was told unintelligible and request rejected. As the head of the intelligence department, Ibiki had enough patience to engage in psychological warfare with that guy, asking questions again from different angles until he came up with a request that he thought was the most unreasonable and least likely to be responded to, like a machine. The stereotypical voice responded, understood, for the first time. Ibixitai's request is, show us the evidence. Why did Uzumaki Naruto give the correct answer? We're going to see the fourth ninja war. The leader of the Ninja Alliance did say that in order to protect that person, he would not hesitate to let other village ninjas kill him after the war. Take the video of his head. Of course, we also have doubts about the authenticity of the fourth ninja war. In the concept of Ibiki and other ninjas, in a long passage Naruto said, there must be a word with the same pronunciation and the answer. So he accidentally answered the other party's question, just like the reply given by that voice. A scene that was almost as big as 1/3 of the school building suddenly appeared in front of Konoha Shinobi School. Not only is the picture moving, there's also sound coming from it. The content within represents the inside of the image, and the absence of it represents the outside of the image. In the image, the old man with a bandage on his head and gray hair and gray beard asked, "What are your intentions? And what exactly is Project Tsuki no Mi?" The screen turned, and a man wearing a black red cloud cloak and an orange Uzumaki mask on his face sat high up and answered him condescendingly, resurrect 10 tails and activate a certain ninjutsu. The short man with the garlic nose stared at the masked man and asked, "A certain ninjutsu? What is that?" There was a lot of movement in the ninja school, and many nearby ninjas gathered here. Ibiki immediately came out of the classroom and arranged for a nearby ninja to notify the third Hokage. At the same time, more and more ninjas gathered, including many ninjas from other villages who came to take the Chunin exam this time. Ibiki decisively arranged to clear the venue, but the image was too big and the sound was not quiet. Such an arrangement almost to no avail. And what Ibiki didn't know was that since the word us was not quantified in the request, this image defined us as everyone. In other words, it's not just Konoha. The same images also exist in other villages. Not only the ninja village, but also ordinary people's towns and Daming Mansion play the contents. Of course, this also includes a group of rebel ninjas having a meeting in a dark cave. Chapter 5 Public Execution Eye of the Dawn Moon. At this time, the ninjas of the Land of Earth and Owagakure gradually gathered in front of the image that suddenly appeared. After trying ninjutsu, taijutsu, and genjutsu to destroy or interfere with the image, and after confirming that there was no danger, they watched the movie together in groups of 3 or 2 It's Tsuchikage-sama. That's right. It's Tsuchikage-sama. Who is that masked man? How dare you be so arrogant in front of our Tsuchikage-sama? The ninjas of Awagakure, the land of Earth, were indignant. Huh, he's just a guy who doesn't dare to show his true face. Hey, who is the person talking to the masked man in front? It's Mifune from the Kingdom of Iron. I've seen him before. Ah, Lord Tsuchikage. The ninjas gathered here bowed and saluted. In the picture, the little old man with a bulbous nose is floating in the air with his hands behind his back. He always feels like he has heard the voice of the masked man before, but the owner of that voice should have died at the hands of the first Hokage long ago. Masked man, resurrect 10 tails and activate a certain ninjutsu. In the video, he asked the masked man, a certain ninjutsu? What is that? What do you want to do? A large-scale illusion that projects one's own eyes onto the moon. The picture shows a close-up of the masked man. In the only hole in the orange Uzumaki mask, the bright red 3-tomo Sharingan revealed his almost crazy love for that ninjutsu. Persistence. Sharingan, that masked man is from Konoha. At this time, the ninjas who watched the video received an important piece of information. Infinite Tsukuyami. Cast illusion on everyone on the ground, and I will control everyone in the illusion to make the world a whole. At this point, the masked man's voice revealed a little smile of pursuit of beauty. The scene changes from the crimson moon to the opposite side. The people talking to the masked man seem to be the shadows of each village and their cronies. Only Kirigakure from the Kingdom of Water and Sunagakure from the Kingdom of Wind are both strangers. Without time to exchange information, the masked man in the video continues his beautiful imagination of the illusion world. There is no barrier, no dispute in the world. Everything becomes one with me. Unify everything. That's my project, Suki no Mi. As soon as the masked man finished speaking, the ninjas of Cloud Shinobi Village in the Kingdom of Thunder saw their grumpy old brother in the image fourth Raikage. Mr. AI, cursed, what a joke. How could I leave the world to you? Raise people. The young man next to Raikage said, the illusory peace is just a lie. Peace is meaningful only when it is realized in the real world. The ninjas of Sunagakure from the Kingdom of Wind and Konoha from the Fire Kingdom looked at the red-haired young man in the image. Could it be that the bright red word love on his forehead is, but why can Gaara participate in other Kaga level talks? That monster is their Sand Shinobi's secret weapon. And, most importantly, why is the Gaara in the video completely different from the Gaara they know? You're lying, right? That monster. In front of the image of Sand Shinobi Village in the Land of Wind, a person expressed the thoughts of other Sand Shinobi. The person next to him continued what he said. It's just like an ordinary ninja like them. Even the leader's momentum and concept of structure are just like the Kazekage. Peace. Could these words come from that monster's mouth? What a cheap prank. The image did not give them more time to think or curse. A beautiful kunoichi in aqua blue sexy clothes rebuked the masked man. Yes, what's the point of living in that kind of illusory world? There is no hope. There is no dream, just escaping from reality. Anoki of two scales. Unify the world. I do remember Danzo saying the same thing, but what you said is not so much unifying the world, but rather creating a world that belongs only to you. The masked man sneered twice. Then what contribution do you Five Shadows make? In fact, you should have understood it a long time ago. There is no hope in this world. Hope coexists with giving up, and that is the only use. Lies to deceive. Hand over the remaining 8 tails and 9 tails to assist my plan. Otherwise, we will have to start a war. The leaders of each ninja village in the video certainly rejected the masked man's unreasonable request. The masked man gave the final warning. Although I have no power, I have the power of the tailed beast that I have collected so far. You have no chance of winning. We will not give up hope. The leaders of each ninja village did not flinch. Okay, the masked man said indifferently. The Fourth Ninja World War. Declare war again. Under the incredulous expressions of Fourth Raikage, Third Tsuchikage and others, he stood up. Then, see you on the battlefield next time. After saying that, the masked man disappeared into the spiral-shaped Uzumaki with his right eye. The video ends here. The 3-minute video left the whole world silent for several seconds. Quick, go and inform third-generation Sama. Ibiki, who had come back to his senses, once again urged the Konoha shinobi next to him. And then there was a scene of him breaking into Hokage's office. In the dark cave, many rebel ninjas with Kaga level and Super Kaga level strength gathered together. Uchiha Itachi, Hashigaki Kisame, Red Sand Scorpion, Data Kakuzu, Hain, Konin, Pain, Nagato, Obito, Aloe, Black, White, Zetsu. The information is too messy and there are too many flaws. These Kaga level and Super Kaga level rebellious ninjas don't know what to say for a while. Deidara, the youngest, stood up first. He looked at Faye, a non-staff member of the Akatsuki organization, in shock. Hey, that eye of yours is a Sharingan. I didn't expect you to be a relative of Suzaku. You didn't tell us. That's not interesting. Deidara thought for a moment, then turned to look at Uchiha Itachi. Could it be your younger brother? To be honest, you two brothers are nothing alike. After saying that, he said a serious yeah to confirm his evaluation. Uchiha Itachi, who is still thinking about the Eye of the Moon plan, being Madara's brother? Forget it. Sasuke is still cute. So let's take this opportunity to deliver information to the third generation and go see him. The plan was suddenly revealed, and he was misunderstood as Itachi's younger brother Uchiha Obito. Fart. In terms of seniority, he calls me uncle. If Madara was included, he would have to call me ancestor. Pain, Konin, Hashigaki Kisame, who knew that a Faye was Uchiha. Is there a big gap in seniority? There was also the Crimson Sand Scorpion, who wanted to stop his pig teammates, but failed. Are you a fool? Seeing an iron tail glowing with purple light blocking her in front of her, Deidara looked at Sia with a puzzled expression. Dana, you brat, if you don't want to die, shut your mouth. The pleasant voice became hoarse and deep after Faye Liuhu's treatment. What are you doing, Dana? It's obviously the guy, Faye, and his brother, who are at odds with each other. His brother's reputation was ruined, but Itachi didn't want to provoke that shady fellow race to avoid implicating Sasuke. He looked at Madara and motioned for him to explain. However, before Obito or a Faye could speak, Haiden reacted, and suddenly a sickle struck the rock beside a Faye. Hey, what the hell is Project Tsukinomi? It sounds like Haiden stared at Faye sideways, and the aura of a rebellious Nin burst out. The plan was disrupted. Obito had no choice but to kill the substitute if he refused. Haiden showed a very dissatisfied look. You are not trying to steal followers from the evil god, are you? That's right. Hey, air condensation, he sighed inwardly. Okay, leader. Kakuzu, who had no interest in their plans, changed the subject. Is there any mission to announce when you call us back this time? He asked Pain, with a smile from the corner of his eye. What he glanced at from the corner of his eye, it was Akatsuki's reserve team member, Faye. Well, Pain pondered for a while, his expressionless face showing no trace of Nagato's embarrassment at this moment. As the image said, our next plan is Dash Haiden, Eye of the Moon. I told you not to compete with the evil god for followers. Shut up, idiot. Kakuzu stretched out his arms to bring his teammates back to him and asked the leader to continue. Pain, our next plan is to collect tailed beasts. To be honest, this is the first time he has heard of the Eye of the Moon project. The guy from Madara clearly said that it was to fuse all the tailed beasts and become one for everyone. The most powerful weapon that can understand pain. But looking at the video, Madara is still wearing Akatsuki's uniform. So she probably didn't betray Akatsuki. However, Pain, that is Nagato, does not know. Akatsuki is actually Akatsuki from Project Tsukinomi. Everything is a conspiracy planned thousands of years ago. And Madara is just a small link in the conspiracy. Next, your mission is to collect information about the 9-tailed beasts. We must catch all 9-tailed beasts within 3 years. We can only succeed, not fail. Data, so that image is indeed the future. But it seems that our mission failed. Didn't 8 tails and 9 tails not be caught? And boss, you must be dead, right? Why is that guy a Faye? Go declare war. Even if Dana and I go, it's better than him going. Hiding. Haha. Then I guess you're dead too. Maybe you were killed by your own bomb. What did you say? Ceremony, idiot. That's art. Yeah. Artistic. It's so annoying. You are the one. Always doing some troublesome and useless rituals. What did you say? The dark cave was filled with joy because of the quarrel between the two idiots. Scorpion, Kakazu. These two idiots still don't understand the situation. That affair is not as simple as you two think. Shut up. Pain interrupted the quarreling King Long, and Santai, 8 tails and 9 tails will be left to the end, and I will handle them personally. He glanced around. Are there any other questions? No, just leave. He and Konan still had questions to ask Madara. All members had no doubts, and each went to Kakazu to receive a new bounty list and left. Deidara and Haiden obviously wanted to talk to Faye about the art theory of explosion and the great teachings of the evil god cult, but unfortunately, they were dragged away by their teammates. As expected, after they left, Madara was dragged by pain, and Ju quietly retreated into the ground as if it had nothing to do with him. Uchiha Itachi was worried about the future mentioned in the image in the 4th Ninja War, so he used Jinjutsu to control the crow to fly quickly towards Konoha. But if he stopped for a moment while passing by Tangsha Street, he would know that the images he knew about the upcoming 4th Ninja War were not classified information. Madara's project, Tsukinomi, has been spread all over the world. Public execution. The other side, Uchiha Tribeland. Naruto stood behind Sasuke. Why are you running away? It's rare to see your mother, he said in an angry voice, like a pair of quarreling friends who were too embarrassed to apologize first. It's just that Naruto's heart still contains some happy blessings for his friends and a desire and envy for family affection. Sasuke has always wanted to talk to him, but he couldn't open his mouth. Once he spoke, the two of them would always quarrel within a few sentences, which was also a strange fate. Sasuke stared at the lake without replying. He recalled the happy times that had happened here. Friendly tribesmen live here. When I walked by as a young child, I would always be given something to eat by the well-meaning Ajisang and Obasan. When my brother is not busy with tasks, he will go to the ninja school to pick him up and take him home. My father always values his brother more, but when chatting with his mother, he talks more about Sasuke. On this lake, he once practiced the great fireball technique so hard that he burned his cheeks because he didn't want to lose to his brother. It was also here when he was finally able to demonstrate a perfect great fireball technique. His father, the patriarch, said, "Well done. As expected of my son." Hey, BD Sasuke, are you crying? Naruto's big face suddenly appeared in front of Sasuke's eyes, so close that Sasuke could only see a pair of round eyes with blue pupils. It turns out that the eyelashes are also golden. Wrong. Too close. Sasuke jumped up suddenly, bang. Forehead to forehead, they hit each other, the one at the end of the crane. Why are you so close? Sasuke covered his head. He didn't know how the head at the end of the crane grew. It was so hard, like a stone. Is that why you can't learn anything? Ah, Naruto was even more exaggerated. He covered his head and rolled directly on the broken wooden bridge. You are the one, BD Sasuke. It hurts me to death. Ah, why is my head so unlucky today now? Constantly getting hit. I saw the dazzling bandage between the blonde hair, which was injured because of resurrecting Kaizen. Sasuke stretched out his hand unaccustomedly. Hug, sorry. Naruto grabbed Sasuke's extended hand and stood up. Hey, are you really Sasuke? His big eyes blinked at him. Sasuke won't cry, let alone apologize. Shouldn't you be using the transformation technique? Sasuke, I'm so PD off. You idiot. You scolded me again. BD Sasuke. The two of them held their arms, turned their heads to the side with puffed faces, and neither of them paid attention to the other. Humph. After a while, thank you for today. Sasuke still didn't look back, thanking you in an extremely unnatural tone. Well, I owe you a favor, the kind that is more important than life. Hey, I'm talking about you. Naruto's dissatisfied voice came. You're too awkward. I'm talking about little Sasuke. What did you say? Don't forget that I'm older than you. Only 2 months. 2 months. Naruto stretched out his fingers. The two of them were suddenly stunned. How did Sasuke's mother know my birthday? How does Kaizen know your birthday? You really didn't say that? Don't be shy. I won't laugh at you. I told you. No. Why should I go out of my way to remember your guy's birthday? You idiot. TCH dash. Naruto pouted his lower lip and turned around to get angry. Sasuke felt like he saw a little fox that was so angry that it turned into a pufferfish. And it was just a little bit cute. Hello, what? Naruto replied reluctantly, obviously not happy yet. I'm serious. Thank you so much this time. His face was hot, and Sasuke knew he must be blushing. I will definitely repay this kindness. Naruto didn't really care about this, and still turned his face away to show his little emotion. Hey, I said hang dash before Sasuke finished speaking. Kakashi suddenly appeared, covering his face with his little book. Yo! Kakashi-sensei. Kakashi. Are you two? Kakashi stretched out his hand to say hello. Where are we making each other's vows here? As expected, two exaggerated pop sounds. What are you doing? I told you. Kakashi-sensei. Kakashi. You guy. With a smile on his eyes, he shook the book in his hand. I'm just kidding. I just happened to see a similar plot. So, Kakashi-sensei, don't read boring books like that all day long. Naruto pointed at the affectionate paradise in Kakashi's hand. Sasuke carried back the 3-ton idol burden and snorted, You unscrupulous Genin. Okay, let's get down to business. Kakashi put the book back into his ninja bag and said, Let's go back to school with me. Naruto and Sasuke need to be mentally prepared for something important. Is it important? A mission? B level? A level? Could it be S level? Idiot, the Chunin exam isn't over yet. How can I assign you an S-level mission? You are the idiot as well. It should be considered a more difficult mission than an S-class mission, Naruto. Kakashi's face suddenly became solemn. I will entrust you with a Super S-level mission, Sasuke. Super S-class mission? How could there be such a thing? Even if there is, it can't be done by Genin like them. Why only give it to the one at the end of the crane? Kakashi, what are you planning to do? Tell me clearly at once. Sasuke's dark eyes stared at Kakashi, and his aura was no worse than opening Sharingan. What mission? Client, who is it? Naruto shook his fist, dissatisfied. It was the last one. I will complete this Super S-level commission for you to see right away. Then he turned to face Kakashi. Kakashi-sensei, I will take it. I accept the commission. Tell me quickly what mission you have to do. Kakashi glanced at Sasuke, who was standing in front of Naruto and interrogating him about the mission information. The relationship between these two children has improved. Okay, ignoring Sasuke's anxiety, Kakashi stared at Naruto. This Super S-level mission requires you to resurrect a person. Sasuke, what? Naruto tilted his head. What do you mean? Well, to put it simply, it's you. Uzumaki Naruto, you're so lucky. Kakashi shook his head and relaxed. That guy said that because the 3 answer quotas for this question and answer have not been exhausted, Naruto, you are wrong. I got the correct answer the second time by mistake. The extra answer quota will be automatically converted into a resurrection opportunity. Please answer. Uzumaki Naruto is in place and chooses the candidate for resurrection again. After the 3rd Hokage and others arrived, everyone heard a new beep, and Kakashi conveyed the content of the beep to Naruto and Sasuke. Of course, I was joking about the Super S-level mission. The person who issued the mission was Hatake Kakashi, because he hoped that Naruto could resurrect that person. Sasuke looked at Naruto and sighed inwardly that he was very lucky at the end of the crane. Naruto immediately became happy. Really? Let me tell you. Then who should I choose to resurrect? I don't know anyone anyway. Chapter 6 Extra Reward. Choose another person. Naruto and Sasuke followed Kakashi, and Sasuke's depression became more and more severe. Ninjas have very powerful ears and eyes, and Naruto could clearly feel the fear and hatred in the eyes of everyone in the village that had accompanied him for 12 years. The Demon Fox and Uchiha are so disgusting. Hey, keep your voice down. I don't know what the Demon Fox means, but his ambition is to revive the Uchiha clan. After hearing Uchiha is disgusting, Sasuke's Sharingan turned on instantly and stared at the whispering villagers. The 2 Konoha villagers who were glared at by him immediately tensed up in fear and showed cowardly looks in their eyes. And there were more looks of condemnation towards the three of them. Rule 3 of the Ninja Code. Ninjutsu is not allowed to be used on defenseless villagers in the village. A hand was placed on Sasuke's shoulder. "Okay, Sasuke." "Kakashi." Sasuke growled dissatisfied. "This is what you asked me to mentally prepare for." "What the hell happened?" Kakashi put away the little pornographic book in his other hand and led Sasuke and Naruto to a deserted rooftop in a few jumps. "Well, after you left, that thing appeared again." Kakashi explained lazily. He wasn't too far away at that time, and there was so much movement in the ninja school that he immediately went back to watch the video before coming over. He told his 2 students about the 4th ninja war mentioned in the video, the possession of Sharingan by the masked man who declared the war, and the 5 Kage talks analyzed by the Nara clan leader, Itachi. Sasuke couldn't bear his murderous intention and grief. It must be that man. How far would that man go to declare war at the 5 Shadows conference? Is he going to be the enemy of the world? I'm sorry to bother you with your guess, but the masked man in the video is probably not your brother. Brother? Naruto was confused by the conversation between Sasuke and Kakashi. "What are you talking about?" Sasuke pinched Kakashi's arm and asked him, "What did you say?" "Not Itachi." "How did you know?" At that time, besides him and Itachi, were there any other Uchiha who survived? No. Sasuke was convinced by his memory of that night. "Itachi killed everyone except me. There can't be other Uchiha." The sound of knife being pierced into flesh and then being pulled out, the screams one after another. Fiery bright red splashed on the door, and the blood-stained Uchiha tribe. "He is the only one who survives. Why did you leave him alone? Why not kill him too?" "Sasuke." Naruto's voice pulled Sasuke out of his eyes. "What are you thinking about? I have to take you to see your mother." Kaizen, yes. Kaizen is still there. Sasuke looked at Uzumaki Naruto next to him. Kaizen was resurrected by this guy. "What were you doing?" "I told you." Naruto was stunned by Sasuke's dark eyes and took half a step back unconsciously. Sasuke shook his head to drive out the chaotic emotions. "Yes, let's go." He said, "Kakashi, I will personally find out if the masked man is Itachi." Looking at the confident BD Sasuke, Naruto muttered, "Don't make people worry, you guy." When he was done, he curled his lips and said, "Follow me, the one at the end of the crane." "Ah, you called me 8JS again." BD Sasuke, sighing, Kakashi, who felt that he was already old, lifted his heels. The 3 came to the ninja school, where a large number of ninjas and Konoha residents without missions had gathered. Uchiha Mikoto stood behind 3rd Hokage and several advisors. The probing gazes around him were a little restrained due to Hokage's face. "Kaizen." Sasuke jumped over and stood in front of his mother. Mikoto smiled and rubbed his head, making Sasuke a little embarrassed. "I'm not a child anymore, Kasen." Seeing them coming, Danzo snorted coldly. "Evil Uchiha?" Danzo, 3rd Hokage, frowned. "Nothing has been finalized yet, so don't speculate. What's more, it has nothing to do with Mikoto and her son." Danzo and 3rd generation were not loud, but Sasuke heard clearly. The hand that held onto his mother suddenly tightened, and the joy of seeing his mother standing in front of him alive was also diluted. Uchiha Mikoto's dark eyes looked at the top of his son's hair with a hint of sadness, and he shook his hand tightly to tell Sasuke not to be impulsive. Sasuke, who thought he understood the situation, believed that the higher-ups were involved in Uchiha because of the masked man in the video, just like the previous villagers. So he suppressed it even though there were many dissatisfactions. Of course, the main reason was that Kasen was here and he couldn't implicate her because of his impulse. However, they all ignored that besides Sasuke, there was also the unexpected no. One ninja, Uzumaki Naruto, who dared to write "idiot," "fool," "idiot" on the Hokage statue of the past, apologized to Sasuke and his mother. "You stinky old man." Sasuke, Naruto. I saw Naruto staring at Danzo from bottom to top. His aura was like a fox with explosive fur. Danzo has been in a high position for a long time, and suddenly he was robbed of his dignity. He hit the bottom hard with his crutch. "You monster, Danzo!" 3rd Hokage interrupted him, and the two high-level officials of Konoha looked at each other, secretly competing. Dangerous air currents rubbed between the two of them, and all the ninjas around secretly hated themselves for choosing such a place to stand, which looked like a Shura field. Because of the Nine-Tails boy, Danzo knew that he had fought with Hiruzen many times, but could not get him to compromise. Since it was the bottom line, there was no need for him to have a stalemate with the other party on this issue. Oomph. He snorted coldly and turned away. Not pursuing Naruto's unreasonable behavior was Danzo's biggest compromise. He would never really apologize to Makoto and his son. Naruto made a face and didn't want to talk to that gloomy old man anymore. Because of Naruto's behavior, Sasuke suddenly felt an unknown fire in his heart. He was angry, but he didn't know what he was angry about. I don't know if I'm angry at Naruto's impulsiveness, angry at myself for being pushed out by Naruto, or angry at myself for being weak. Third Generation held a cigarette in his mouth and smoothed things over with a smile. Naruto rubbed his golden-haired head. Who are you going to resurrect? Please answer the question, Uzumaki Naruto. Choose one person from all the dead ninjas in Konoha to resurrect. Isn't it just a matter of choosing 1 out of 10? Although they don't have high hopes, many people still hope that one more person can be resurrected from the remaining 9 wooden coffins. Among them was Kakashi, who thought that Naruto might have a chance to resurrect the 4th Hokage. Naruto covered his head and shouted, "Are we going to put out all the coffins of all the dead people? Then when will I choose? I tell you, Konoha man, IQ is poor. Other village ninjas. Virtue is all about luck." You idiot. What he said was lottery. Do you know what a lottery is? Sasuke said in a very angry tone because he was angry at Naruto before. Naruto was not happy either. A whole Sasuke. Why are you so angry? So what is the lottery dash bang? Before he finished speaking, a cloud of white smoke exploded. Contrary to what Naruto thought, not that many coffins appeared. But it's different from what others thought. At least they didn't expect that the drawing would be done in this way. The people gathered here frequently twitched their mouths, always feeling that they were dazzled. The 3rd Hokage and the elders couldn't help but cover their faces. Naruto, what is this? Kakashi-sensei. Naruto tugged on Kakashi's pants and asked, "What is this?" Kakashi smiled mysteriously. "I don't know what it is, but it means, Naruto, that you're a good boy, huh?" "What do you mean?" I asked. Naruto tilted his head. "Sasuke, idiot. That's a slot machine. You don't even know that." Although Naruto didn't know what a slot machine was, Naruto didn't want to ask Sasuke right now. Kakashi raised an eyebrow. "Sasuke, you actually know?" Sasuke suddenly felt embarrassed, secretly hating himself for being so angry at Naruto. In fact, he had only seen it in South on the street, but the big Uchiha never bothered to explain. Next to him, Makoto's smile was on his face. Is leaving Sasuke alone really the right choice? Please pull the lever next to the machine to draw. There is no time limit. You only have one chance. Please choose carefully. The stereotypical mechanical sound interrupted everyone, and the ninja photos on the slot machine screen gradually accelerated their rotation. Chapter 7. We are both monsters and miss the 4th generation. Please pull the lever next to the machine to draw. There is no time limit. You only have one chance. Please choose carefully. The stereotypical mechanical sound interrupted everyone, and the ninja photos on the slot machine screen gradually accelerated their rotation. At first, everyone could still see clearly whether the ninja in the photo was someone they knew, but then because the rotation speed was too fast, they could no longer distinguish the portrait. Is there no time limit? You can make good use of this. Kakashi lazily pushed up the forehead protector on his left face, opened his scarred eyelids, and revealed the bright red Sharingan. Naruto, as expected of Kakashi-sensei, I'm here to help too. Sasuke also opened a Sharingan. Unlike Kakashi, Sasuke's Sharingan only had 2 Magatama in it, but even so, they could still distinguish each one of them from the rapidly rotating photos. Time passed by, and Naruto waited impatiently. Little Sakura is not here because she just had a quarrel. She got hurt for no apparent reason, and she doesn't want to talk to Sasuke. Starting to look around, Naruto suddenly saw the red-haired sand shinobi boy with the word love on his head. He jumped up and stood in front of Gaara. You're called Gaara, right? I heard that you will become the Kazekage in the future. Naruto poked his nose with his thumb. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. Sooner or later, I will also become the Hokage no. I'll tell you if I lose to you. Gaara looked at the silly smiling face in front of him and told him coldly, it's impossible. Naruto was instantly shocked, but he quickly adjusted himself and shouted at Gaara, just wait. I will defeat you and become Hokage. Definitely. I'm not interested in weak people. In order not to look at that silly face, Gaara turned his back directly, and the huge gourd pushed Naruto aside. Temari put her arm around her waist and looked at Naruto with disdain. Do you want to win against Gaara? Just call your black-haired companion, even though it's impossible to win. After all, his brother is not an ordinary ninja. Kankuro looked him up and down. Maybe you haven't woken up yet? With that malnourished physique and stupid IQ, shouldn't he turn around and run away when he sees his younger brother? The attitude of the three of them made Naruto grab his clothes and bite them. Sasuke again. Sooner or later, I have to defeat that BD Sasuke. After Naruto left, the three Sand Shinobi brothers vaguely heard the Konoha people talking quietly. Is he stupid? He actually issued a challenge to that Gaara. Why would you become a Hokage sooner or later? It's really an embarrassment to us Konoha. He must have forgotten how that guy used sand to crush that grass ninja to death. But having said that, it wouldn't be bad if that monster Sand Shinobi could kill that demon fox. Hey, keep your voice down. It's quiet enough. The demon fox is just a monster. It doesn't matter if he hears it besides. He should already know it. I heard that he stole that before the Book of Seals. I don't know what third-generation Sama is thinking. What? You didn't put him in a cage. After that, the whispers turned into mocking laughter. Monster? Uzumaki Naruto? Looking at the retreating blonde figure, he was so weak that he could kill him with just one finger. Over there, one of Sasuke's eyes began to bleed due to overuse, and he was immediately comforted by his mother Mikoto and closed the Sharingan. Kakashi's condition is not very good, but he can still continue to figure out his rotation pattern. Sasuke covered his eyes and shared the information he had obtained. Most of them are Genin. There are far more Chūnin than Genin. No Kage level has been seen so far. Nara, Shikaku. Is there any other information? Some people will appear more than once, especially Genin. I have seen one person appear at least 3 times. Sasuke felt like his head was going to explode while he was quickly remembering and identifying among the huge number of photos that flashed by. Kakashi groaned. The mic guy next to him looked at the bulging blood vessels on Kakashi's forehead and sighed in his heart. He's indeed my lifelong rival. It's a pity that I can't help at all without Sharingan. I just saw the Hokage, Lord's second Hokage, Senju Tobirama. Kakashi continued to stare at the rotating photos, sharing information as Sasuke continued. Kakashi's words made the elderly people present unable to calm down. They looked in the direction of Hokage Rock and recalled their teachers. Kakashi, Sasuke. As you can see, the borders around the photos are different colors for different people. Yeah, Sasuke leaned back in his mother's arms, covering one eye and forcing himself to continue with the other eye. Genin's border is gray, Chunin's blue, Genin's purple. The shadow is gold. Kakashi added, the colors of Umbu, Jin, and Rebel Ninja may be blue, purple, or even gold. Nara Shikaku quickly put the information together and thought about the possible meaning of the color of the border. I didn't have any clue at first, but I came up with a guess when I accidentally saw the gift card drawn by the Akamichi family and his son eating potato chips next to me. Is it rare? Nara Shikaku groped his chin and muttered, Yudatain Koharu, what do you mean? It's just a guess. Nara Shikaku took the gift card in Akimichi-chai's hand and explained, similar to the gift cards and snacks, the rarity is defined according to the strength of the character in the card, and it is divided into N card, R card, SR card, SSR card. The third Hokage groaned, so it does correspond, but they don't know who is behind the power that plays with them, who can resurrect the dead, knows the images of the future, and knows the exact identity of every ninja in Konoha. The strength, no matter what, is enough to shake the entire ninja world. As dusk approached, Kakashi finally put away the Sharingan. Third Hokage. Find a pattern? Kakashi was dressed roughly. Fortunately, I did not disgrace my life. Although he said this, the tired Kakashi seemed worried because he looked at the entire roulette wheel several times and could not find that person. Obito, why? Why aren't you in it? Danzo. In that case, Hatake Kakashi, please resurrect Lord First Hokage. Kakashi did not answer, which was a silent rejection. Not only because his original intention was to resurrect the fourth Hokage, but also because he was a ninja affiliated with the Hokage, and he could refuse to accept orders other than those from the Hokage. You actually disobeyed me. Danzo lowered his voice. The demon fox boy just made him lose face once, and now there is another Hatake Kakashi. Do the people of Sarutobi Hiruzen really not take him seriously? The chakra pressure that was about to burst out was held back by third Hokage. Haha, Danzo, do you still remember the words of first generation and second generation? Protect the people who admire the village and believe in you, and then train them and find people who can entrust it to the people of the next era. They conveyed the will of fire to me, and my task is to entrust this will to the next generation, so that it can be passed down from generation to generation. What on earth are you trying to say? Hiruzen, you and I are already at this age. Do you still need to be protected by two teachers? In my opinion, fourth Hokage Namake's Minato is more suitable. I remember that he was only 24 years old when he sacrificed his life for the village. Compared to you, and I have much longer time. The third Hokage was fine. Danzo's face was ashen, and he directly arranged for Kakashi to direct Naruto to resurrect the fourth Hokage. Yes, this time Kakashi agreed simply and happily. He asked Naruto to place his hand on the lever of the slot machine and started the Sharingan himself, waiting for the opportunity according to his calculations. Hey, Kakashi-sensei, what should I say? You just need to relax your body. Kakashi put his hand on Naruto's. I will grab your hand and press it down when the time comes. Naruto curled his lips and whispered softly, Geez, you were talking about a Super S-level mission that was only given to me. In the end, you didn't do everything yourself. Haha, you can't say that, Naruto. Third Hokage smiled good-naturedly. I still need to rely on your luck. I didn't know you were so lucky before, but you can't become a gambler because of this, haha. Thinking of his apprentice who was addicted to gambling, third Hokage suddenly missed them. Kakashi is concentrating here. According to the pattern he found, Lin will appear in 10 photos. Behind Lin is Mrs. Kushina. There is a high chance that behind Mrs. Kushina there is a teacher. Kakashi desperately asked himself to calm down, waiting for the pictures to go through one by one. Lin, a photo of Harano Lin appeared. According to Kakashi's calculation, Uzumaki Kushina should be next. Unfortunately, everything didn't happen as usual. A photo he had never seen before appeared behind Lin. The surrounding red border exudes a gleaming brilliance, which is brighter and dazzling than the border of Kaga-level photos. And even the entire photo has a faint glow. Who is it? The man in the photo is about 30 years old, with short white hair. Half of his face is covered in swirling and hideous scars, while the other half of his face is intact. He must have suffered a very serious injury. The right half of his neck and even the shoulders below the neck were so pale that they did not resemble human skin. The most important thing is that this person owns a pair of Sharingan, which is a special pair of Sharingan. There is no Magatama in the red pupils. Instead, there is a black sickle pattern. This photo, which lasted less than half a second in other people's eyes, seemed to be imprisoned in front of Kakashi's eyes. That face that I recalled countless times overlapped with the man in the photo at some point. Obito Kakashi. Sasuke's cry woke up Kakashi, but just for a moment's hesitation, Kakashi saw that when he held Naruto's hand and pressed the lever, the photo of 4th Hokage Namake's Minato had flashed by. Chapter 8, Betting on Life and Resurrection. Full of luck, this photo, which lasted less than half a second in other people's eyes, seemed to be imprisoned in front of Kakashi's eyes. That face that I recalled countless times overlapped with the man in the photo at some point. Obito Kakashi. Sasuke's cry woke up Kakashi, but just for a moment's hesitation, Kakashi saw the photo of Mr. Minato flashing past when he held Naruto's hand and pressed the lever. Missed mission failed. There was a scene in front of him of his father, Obito, Lin, Mr. Minato, and Mrs. Kushina turning and leaving. Everyone left him. Only him was left behind. He reached out to grab them, only to see them walking further and further away. The chakra deficiency, physical exhaustion, and mental shock caused by the continuous high-frequency use of Sharingan made Kakashi seem to have been deprived of his five senses by an illusion, as if the world was spinning, and his chest was filled with fishy sweet nausea. Kakashi Sensei. Kakashi Senior. Tenzo, who was hiding in the dark, jumped out, caught the fallen silver-haired Genin, and took him to Konoha Hospital with the permission of the third Hokage. Bang! The slot machine disappeared in a puff of smoke. Instead, a wooden coffin rumbled up from the ground. Who is it? Konoha, other villages, the third generation, and the advisory group all stared closely at the slowly rising wooden coffin. They had only seen the fourth Hokage's ninja picture appear for a moment, and the slot machine had disappeared before the next picture appeared. Could it be that Konoha really resurrected the golden flash that became famous during the Third Ninja War? This is undoubtedly a huge threat to other ninja villages. No, not fourth generation. Sasuke covered his eyes, gaining a new understanding of the rear of the crane next to him. Is this luck going to be heaven-defying? But why? Kakashi said before that the second Hokage photo had a golden border, but why was the one he just saw red? And before the fourth Hokage came along, who was the white-haired man with the strange Sharingan? How can you have a red border that shines brighter than a gold border? The wooden coffin was completely lifted off the ground. And what was different from the previous 10 wooden coffins was, is it that Orochimaru guy again? Speak. Obviously, the lid of the coffin has not been opened yet, and the person inside has not been resurrected yet. Third Hokage. This voice is Yuditane Kohu, Midokado Hamura. Teacher. Danzo opened his eyes wide, covered his right arm that was sealed multiple times, and quickly hid in the darkness and left the place. With a stronger sense of perception than the first Hokage, Danzo was not confident that he could hide the secrets in his right eye and right arm from that adult's eyes. Orochimaru, who was disguised as a grass ninja with living corpse reincarnation, stuck out his tongue as slippery as a snake. Oh, it turns out that it's Mr. Sarutobi's master. It's actually that adult. He glanced at it and was frightened by the fake corpse. Uzumaki Naruto fell to the ground and trembled. After laughing hoarsely, he commented, "This blonde kid is such an interesting wind. What's even more interesting is that the adult from the old era actually knew him." Orochimaru? He seemed to be complaining. Could it be that he secretly learned a few ninjutsu from him, and he found out about it? Anyway, if it's that person, Konoha will move again, a few fingers with dirt on them stretched out from the wooden coffin, and push the coffin board of the wooden coffin horizontally. Let me see what happened this time, Senju Tobirama said with interest. Since he can reincarnate in pure world again, this proves that Naruto should have successfully stopped Uchiha Sasuke and brought the tailed beast into the liberation of humanity bound by the sacred tree. Oh, it's really him. He must have become a great hero who saves the world. Is there any Hokage who has become a better ninja than his elder brother and surpassed all previous generations? I really look forward to it. Slowly pushing open the coffin board that blocked the view, Senju Tobirama was wondering why he heard Naruto's chakra when he sensed it was extremely weak. Ah, fake corpse. Fake corpse. Grandpa Hokage, help me. You want to strangle me at the end of the crane? Senju Tobirama, after completely lifting the coffin board, second Hokage was stunned by the sight in front of him. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who is still alive, Uzumaki Naruto, who looks like a little fox, and the kid who is about to be strangled to death, who looks like Uchiha Izuna when he was little, is Uchiha Sasuke, right? Looking towards the Hokage rock, it turned out that we only reached the fourth Hokage. Monkey, what year is it in Konoha now? Tobirama, Mr. Tobirama. Sarutobi Hiruzen simply couldn't imagine that one day he would see this man again. He single-handedly founded the Konoha Shinobi School, ignited the fire of peace in the world together with the first Hokage, and established the second Hokage of Konoha Shinobi Village. It is Konoha's 60th year, the period of the Chunin exams for this year. Oh, Chunin exam. So you're saying that you were reincarnated by the first Broken Earth again? I didn't feel my elder brother's chakra beside me. It seems that I was the only one who was reincarnated by the impure world this time. And Orochimaru, oh, did you use a special method to disguise yourself as a grass ninja? It's a very interesting ninjutsu. No wonder even the monkeys are not found. It seems that history has changed under unknown circumstances. Confirmed resurrection. Senju Tobarama. Chapter 9 Confirmation of Resurrection. Second generation. Confirmed resurrection. Senju Tobarama Chakra. A natural life force, several times more powerful than the last resurrection of Uchiha Mikoto, fell from the sky and hit the wooden coffin of second Hokage like a waterfall in the Valley of the End. The bright green light almost illuminated the entire Konoha tree, and in the blink of an eye, the wooden coffin grew into a huge tree in the sky. Just like the first Hokages would style Flower World, tree descending and surrounding the Konoha Shinobi School. The ground rolled and chakra flourished. Not only Uzumaki Naruto, but also many people fell to the ground. The resurrected Senju Tobarama sensed his own chakra and actually returned to the time when he was less than 30 years old, when his chakra and physical strength were at their peak. Monkey, explain the current situation to me. Step out of the coffin and jump a few times to the third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Under the influence of Senju's sage body, it looks like Senju Tobarama in his early 20s standing with his arms crossed. Briefly describing the changes that happened since the Chunin exam, the three people in the Hokage class were still unable to calm down from the fact that their teacher was resurrected and that the teacher was younger than themselves. Senju Tobarama adapts well, and second Hokage can maintain the calm and self-possessed state of the ninja at all times. He looked at Uzumaki Naruto, who was lying on the ground, and whined, "Got it, gotta go," and said, "As expected of you, you saved everyone's life in that way and even resurrected me." Third generation looked confused. Why does Mr. Tobarama seem to know Naruto? With an expression of admiration? Since the second Hokage and the third Hokage were both looking at Naruto, the people around them also moved their eyes from the two of them to Uzumaki Naruto. "What?" I said, "Grandpa Hokage, who is this clean guy with fox eyes? Who exactly did he and Mr. Kakashi resurrect? This movement is too big." Ugh, several black threads immediately appeared on Senju Tobarama's head, and he couldn't help shouting at Naruto, "You are qualified to say that I look like a fox?" Naruto, who was suddenly shocked, tilted his head with a dull look on his face. The whiskers on his left and right cheeks, and his big round eyes, made him look like a cute fox cub. "Oomph. You are indeed a natural idiot." The shocked third Hokage. "What's going on? Why does it feel like I saw Mr. Tobarama yelling at Mr. Hashirama?" Naruto temporarily forgot about the quarrel he was having with Sasuke, humped him and asked, "Why do you boys who are cleaner, pretty / meaning white-skinned, than girls also have bigger tempers than girls?" At this time, everyone present could not care less about the shock of second Hokage's resurrection, and only said FK in their hearts to express their feelings for the blonde boy. Taking a deep breath, the second Hokage, Senju Tobarama, who is good at introspection and is known for his calmness, felt a sense of anger similar to the anger he felt when he saw his elder brother smashing his head on the table as a big thank you, and tailed beasts can be given for free in the 5 Kage Conference. If it weren't for the demeaning of doing it himself, he might not be able to restrain himself from touching that kid. Second Hokage's punch was out of character. Uchiha Sasuke didn't know how to do it at all. This punch was fast and hard. Don't hit me in the head." Uzumaki Naruto held his head. "I'm just telling you what happened to my head today. I've been injured 3 times already." The actions of the two children allowed Uchiha Mikoto to temporarily dispel the gloom in his heart and burst into laughter. Sasuke blushed and complained, "Kaizen, and then raised his fist to hit Naruto. Naruto covered his head and ducked. By the way, who is that clean guy who calls himself old man like Grandpa Hokage? How stupid do you have to be? Even if you don't listen in class, there must be a limit to your ignorance. He is the younger brother of first Hokage, second Hokage, Senju Tobirama. You idiot, call me second-generation master. The two yelled at Uzumaki Naruto at the same time. Ah! Naruto screamed again, looking at Senju Tobirama in front of him, and then at the Hokage rock in the distance. It's not like it at all. I said, I really wrote stupid on my face, you. Iruka pressed Naruto's head and kept apologizing to second Hokage. Second generation. Why don't the people of Konoha village know what Naruto wants to say? Writing idiots and fools on the faces of Hokage Rock and all previous Hokages, and using pranks to impress the public is what the demon fox boy often does. By the way, didn't third-generation Master resurrect Kakashi Genin as fourth Hokage? How come second Hokage came out? What does the dirty version of second generation mean? The fourth ninja war, Ninja Alliance assembles. In front of the ninja school, the image appeared again, interspersed by huge trees, and was projected crookedly. Water-style water, severing wave. Senju Tobirama is a water style that cuts down trees that affect its normal playback. That's amazing. That clean one, woo. Uzumaki's speak, directly Naruto, was once again covered by Iruka-sensei and Uchiha Sasuke. The captain is here. In the image, people wearing different clothes form an extremely large team. As the camera zooms out, the ninjas from each village, ordinary villagers, daimyo from various countries, and the super shadow, rebel ninja, who are watching the image realize that this is more than just a huge team. Describe the team. The mighty team lined up for thousands of meters, and such teams were gathered together tightly, row by row, with 50 columns as a unit, and 5 units forming an indescribable and extraordinary human sea phalanx. Chapter 10 Ninja Alliance Live broadcast, the captain is here. In the image, people wearing different clothes form an extremely large team. As the camera zooms out, the ninjas from each village, ordinary villagers, daimyo from various countries, and the super shadow rebel ninja who are watching the image realize that this is more than just a huge team. Describe the team. The mighty team lined up for thousands of meters, and such teams were gathered together tightly, row by row, with 50 columns as a unit, and 5 units, forming an indescribable and extraordinary human sea phalanx. That vest, it's a ninja from Konoha, and the guy from Earth Country, Iwagakure. That person is from Cloud Shinobi Village in the Land of Thunder. I fought against him in a mission. There are also people wearing armor who don't look like ninjas. That's a samurai from the Kingdom of Iron. Are they here too? Not only that, but there are also guys in the Blood Mist. Hey, how come you from Sand Shinobi Village are joining our team in Konoha? It's obviously you guys from Konoha who are standing in our Sand Shinobi Village team. Temari turned around and cursed. Don't get me wrong. This is an image. We already said it was the Ninja Alliance. Nara Shikamaru yawned. Besides, it didn't happen to us. What's there to argue about? It's a big trouble. Hyuga Niji. Yes, there's only the word Nin on their forehead protector, and there is no division of Nin villages. Temari glanced at the Konoha Genin standing over there and snorted coldly. TSK. Woman, this is really troublesome. Second Hokage Senju Tobirama stood by with his arms folded, already having a rough guess as to when this image was taken. You're a brat from a Nara family. You're about to be slapped in the face. The screen is zoomed in again, and you can clearly see the facial features of the ninja in the image. The hairstyle has not changed much, and the facial features and figure are more mature than before. They're the Sand Shinobi Village female ninja Temari who was slapped in the face, and the Konoha Shinobi Village male ninja Nara Shikamaru. Temari, why are you standing next to me? Shikamaru, how do I know? Women are really troublesome. The two looked at each other and turned away with a tisk at the same time. Shikamaru's father, Nara, looked back and forth between his son and the blonde Kunoichi from Sand Shinobi Village. Oh, it's so troublesome. Why do troublesome things happen one after another? Will Yoshino not let me go home late? Shall I come in? The image is from bottom to top, looking upward from the perspective of the ninja army, a huge platform built on the rock wall. It is not difficult to tell from the characteristics of the building that it is Cloud Shinobi Village, the country of thunder. 5 figures gradually appear. In the exciting soundtrack, the Ninja Alliance below cheered. The 5 figures who just stepped out were probably the leaders of this amazing ninja alliance. A strong male ninja with a typical Yue clan complexion is highlighted in the video, with only one eye exposed, coldly looking down at the ninja alliance. Captain of the first unit, Cloud Shinobi Village's right-hand man, Reikage Darui. The voice of this commentary is Shikako looked at his son. Having already guessed something, he was vaguely proud of his son. This Genin of Konoha gathered around Shikamaru. Naruto, Shikamaru, when did you run inside? Shikamaru glanced at Naruto, feeling that explaining such a complicated matter to Naruto seemed more troublesome than getting along with a woman. Ino patted Shikamaru. It seems you will grow into a very powerful character. Shikamaru, it's so troublesome, please spare me. Inside Cloud Shinobi Village Darui. It's Darui. As expected of Reikage-sama's right-hand man, his aura is amazing. Immediately afterwards, a man with a beard similar to Mr. Asuma appeared, his square face full of majesty. This man is so strong. Captain of the second unit, Iwagakure Lus. Inside Iwagakure, Master Huangtu. Master Huangtu is the captain of the second unit. It's not much different from the current Lord Lus. Could it be that the image is in the near future? Really? Then I want to join the second army and become Lord Huangtu's subordinate. Inside Konoha Village, it's indeed him. Third, Tsuchikage, the son of 2-day scale Inoki. Did he actually become the captain of the second unit of the Ninja Alliance? It's really awesome. He is worthy of being the son of third Tsuchikage. TSK. Many people who knew the 2 ninjas from Cloud Shinobi Village and Iwagakure couldn't help but think, what kind of role is that masked man? Not only did he break into the 5 Shadows conference single-handedly and escape unscathed, he actually needed the 5 major nations. Will the ninja army unite to deal with him? The person next to me touched the man's sleeve and said, don't forget, Sharingan. Correct. That masked man has a Sharingan, but please spare us. This has nothing to do with us in Konoha. Besides, after all, Uchiha has. Sasuke sat on the ground and secretly gritted his teeth, clenching his hands in a fist so hard that they were shaking. His mother, Uchiha Mikoto, sighed in her heart, thinking that it would be okay if it was Minato, but now it is Tobirama-sama, the second generation who is said to be very wary of Uchiha. Itachi, looking at his second son whom he had not seen for many years, and thinking of his eldest son, Uchiha Mikoto was very painful. In fact, apart from Danzo's fueling the situation, both she and Fugaku were aware of the internal problems of Uchiha. To be fair, it was impossible to say whether it was more problems at the top or internal problems at Uchiha. It's just that as the clan leader, Fugaku has a strong sense of responsibility and is introverted and not good at expressing himself. It would be great if the kids Minato and Obito were still around. Their personalities would definitely help improve the villagers' view of Uchiha. Especially Obito. People in the village don't like Uchiha, but the child is very popular with the villagers, especially the old people in the village. After the Nine Tails Rebellion, Uchiha Mikoto thought this in his heart more than once. A burst of uproar brought Mikoto back from his thoughts. It turned out that an acquaintance appeared in the image. Just now, that acquaintance was still here. In the video, a silver-haired ninja appears with only his right eye exposed. The lower half of his face was wearing a mask, and the forehead protector was pulled down to cover his left eye. Even though the Konoha logo on the forehead protector was replaced with the word nin, he had copied thousands of ninjutsu and was known as a Konoha technician. Copy ninja, who doesn't know Sharingan Kakashi? Captain of the third unit, Konoha Village Hatake Kakashi. Chapter 11, Shura of Love, Captain of the Ninja Alliance. In the video, a silver-haired ninja appears with only his right eye exposed. The lower half of his face was wearing a mask, and the forehead protector was pulled down to cover his left eye. Even though the Konoha logo on the forehead protector was replaced with the word nin, he had copied thousands of ninjutsu and was known as a Konoha technician. Copy ninja, who doesn't know Sharingan Kakashi? Captain of the 3rd Unit, Konoha Village Itachi Kakashi. Sasuke Kakashi. Naruto, Kakashi Sensei. Sakura, belatedly. Kakashi Sensei? The captain of the 3rd Unit of the Ninja Alliance in the 4th Ninja War. That Kakashi Sensei. Naruto jumped back from Shikamaru. What about us? What happened to me, Sakura-chan, and Sasuke? Could it be that I have become a Hokage, right? Looking in Naruto's expectant eyes, Sasuke calmly gave the same reply as Gaara. No way. The 3 words were so concise that Naruto was so angry that he wanted to argue with him again, but was scared off by little Sakura's fist. But, Naruto looked at his teacher in the image with wide eyes. Kakashi-sensei is really awesome. I tell you, yes. That's right. The 4th person in the video is the old man seen in the previous video, the one who doesn't look like a ninja. Seeing this, Temari suddenly felt something in her heart. Could the 5th person be? Taking a secret glance at his terrifying brother, Temari denied his suspicion as if he was evading. Captain of the 5th Unit, Admiral of the Iron Kingdom Mifune. What follows is the reality that Temari can no longer escape no matter what. A pair of tightly wrapped calves appear in the image. From the curvature of the ground, it can be vaguely guessed that he is standing in the middle. Shikamaru's voice explained again. There is also the captain of our 4th Unit, the commander of all combat units, and the commander-in-chief of the Ninja Coalition, Kazekage Gaara. Before he finished speaking, the face of 18-year-old Gaara appeared in the image. He was a handsome male ninja with a calm expression, no timidity about war, and no morbid, murderous intention. He escaped from the lonely hell. This is Gaara. All eyes are focused on a morbid young man in front of the ninja school who is full of murderous intent. His morbidity is not reflected in the body, but in the psychology of thirst for blood and expectation of killing. Although the ninja world is cruel, Konoha has always been well guided by the Hokage of the past. They do not love killing, and what conflicts with the true code of the heart of a ninja is the concept of never giving up on companions easily. But everyone also knows that other ninja villages, such as Blood Mist, have never been like this. What made a 12-year-old boy become like this? What made him grow into a calm, rational, and powerful leader 3 years later? What's more, this leader is the leader of the Ninja Alliance formed to fight against the masked man who dared to start 4 wars alone. That is the existence that can command the entire ninja world. Is this really the 12-year-old kid in front of them? What are these adults doing? If you actually leave it to a child, there must be a limit to joking, right? The ninjas in front of the images all over the world question the authenticity of the images again and again. In Konoha, the boy named Gaara is right in front of him. For a moment, everyone gathered here stared at the red-haired boy from Sand Shinobi Village. Dad, it seems we all thought wrong. Nara Shikamaru lazily put his hands in his pockets and whispered, "It's really troublesome, that Naruto guy." Nara Shikaka, oh. He had communicated with his son the known information and some of his thoughts beforehand. According to Shikamaru's thinking in the examination room at the time, if the horror quiz was viewed as a game, the person behind the scenes did not give them any hints to find the answer. First of all, clear rules have been given, which greatly reduces the risk of their own trial and error. Secondly, give relevant information about the reward items before answering correctly. Just as he guessed, that was actually part of the prompt. At least it could narrow down the range from countless alternative answers. The answer should be related to Chakra Knife, Konoha Shinobi Village, Hataki Sakumo, and Hataki Kakashi. Finally, in fact, the clearest hint has been given in the question, during the 4th Ninja War. In order to protect someone, the captain of the Ninja Alliance did something like, "Come and chop off my head after the war is over." Speech. The voice said, "who" instead of "who," which seemed to mean the same thing. But the former had actually told them that this was a fill-in-the-blank question. Answer. People. Chapter 12, the swearing-in speech, is about to begin. Answer. People. Men, women, old people, myself, or the guy whose name is someone, excluding the options that are too broad and have nothing to do with the chakra knife. Only the person and the guy whose name is someone are left. But it is obvious that in order to protect that someone, the future commander-in-chief of the Ninja Alliance will not be afraid of life and death. But all the above were overturned by Shikamaru after Naruto gave the correct answer. Even if Naruto's answer is completely consistent with the intersection of his previous theories, it doesn't make sense. After all, Naruto is just an ordinary genin in Konoha village without any talents or qualifications. Even if it takes another 3 years, he will never grow to the point where the captain of the Ninja Alliance is willing to give up his life. Therefore, in Naruto's long words, the word Hokage is the most reliable answer. At least that's what Nara Shikamaru and his father Nara Shikaka think. Of course, Shikamaru just didn't know his father's underlying worries. But when Shikamaru saw that Gaara from Sandstorm was actually the captain of the Ninja Alliance, the things he noticed earlier became even more problematic. Why did he see himself, Chai, Ino, Hinata, Senior Niji, and Little Sakura in the video team, but not Naruto and Sasuke? Mr. Kakashi of their class is the captain of the third team. Recalling the treatment that Naruto has received in the village when he was a child and asked, "Why does everyone hate Naruto?" at the dinner table, my mother's face for a moment, and my father's ambiguous answer. An inexplicable anger suddenly rose in Nara Shikamaru's chest. "Why? What is going on?" he asked in a low voice, but his tone was very irritable. Dad's face was gloomy, and he still didn't answer a word. As smart as Nara Shikamaru, he understood in an instant that this was at least an S-level secret. "I'm sorry, Shikamaru. Before I became your father, I was first the head of Nara's family, and even the Genin captain of Konoha Shinobi Village. More than doubled again." The third Hokage received the message that Nine-Tails matter may not be kept secret. His brows furrowed, and he looked at Senju Tobarama beside him. "Night aim? Well, I already know. It's really inappropriate for someone in his early 20s to call himself old man, teacher." The picture in a video once again overlooks the entire ninja coalition from a high altitude. It's really unprecedented. At least a team of more than 80,000 people. All the combat power that each village can muster must be gathered here. But second Hokage, who has experienced the final battle of the Fourth Ninja War, knows that in the end, he can fewer than 20,000 people survived. This was war, Big Brother, and what he had wanted to end his whole life. It's just that in all calculations, the existence of Black Zetsu and Uchiha Madara's fake death in the Valley of the End battle were not taken into account. Do you really have no idea at all? This might have been alive at the time. Recalling the sudden change that occurred when Cloud Shinobi formed an alliance, Senju Tobarama sighed and continued watching the images. "Temari, Gaara is the captain of our fourth force, but he's also the commander-in-chief of the coalition forces. Although you are an agent, you are actually the captain of the fourth force. Do your best, Shikamaru. It's really unbearable to be assigned to this troublesome team." The two of them looked at each other from a distance, wondering why they were talking to that guy in such a familiar tone in the future image, Humph. Anyway, they couldn't get along now, so the two looked away. Uzumaki Naruto crouched aside and muttered, "Compared to that boy becoming the Kazekage and becoming the captain of the alliance, Shikamaru becoming the acting captain doesn't surprise me at all. What will happen to me in the future? Where is it? Why don't you even have a cool shot? Let me tell you." The image once again freezes on Gaara, the commander of the Ninja Alliance Battle Company, Kazekage Sandstorm. Similarly, the people gathered in front of the Konoha image also focus their attention on Gaara in reality, with an unbelievable look in their eyes. The surrounding sand is about to move, with a strong smell of blood. Gaara crossed his arms and looked at the image coldly. It's a boring trick. No one can understand him. He's a Shura living in hell. He can only prove his existence by killing constantly. There is no other way. "Okay, Gaara." A familiar voice came from the video. It was the delinquent Genin Hatake Kakashi, who always held a little yellow book. "You are the commander-in-chief of this great alliance. Please tell everyone a few words after you calm down." Is a swearing-in ceremony before going out to the army. Tobarama glanced at Sand Shinobi, the kid who said, "No strangers allowed in." Then he looked at the relatively mature boy in the image. He doesn't look like a very attractive little guy. What can you say? It is not an easy task to unite the power of the ninjas from the 5 great nations who are full of hatred. Of course, second Hokage knew that he had done it, so he was curious about what the juniors said at that time. Chapter 13, The Third Hokage is indeed difficult. Is it a swearing-in ceremony before going out to the army? Tobarama glanced at Sand Shinobi, the kid who said, "No strangers allowed in." Then he looked at the relatively mature boy in the image. He doesn't look like a very attractive little guy. What can you say? It is not an easy task to unite the power of the ninjas from the 5 great nations who are full of hatred. Of course, second Hokage knew that he had done it, so he was curious about what the juniors said at that time. Silence. That's right, it's silence. After Kakashi asked Gaara to make a few declarations to mobilize the entire army, the handsome red-haired Sand Shinobi still looked at the Ninja Alliance troops 100 meters below with an expressionless face, as if he didn't know what to say. The ninjas from the 5 major countries below also stared at him. The oldest among the 5 captains is Mifune of the Iron Country, 65 years old. Then there is Yellow Earth of Awagakure of the Earth Country, 44 years old. Hatake Kakashi of Konoha Village of the Fire Country, 31 years old, and even Cloud Shinobi Village of the Thunder Country Darui is also 26 years old. Even as a Kazekage, Gaara, who is only 18 years old, is too young. The war is approaching, and the crowd is full of nervous emotions. The leader's judgment and decision-making give them a fate of life or death. Is it really okay to let such a kid become the captain of the team? A man in the crowd, wearing an Awagakure uniform, expressed the thoughts of many people present. Standing next to him was a ninja from Sand Shinobi Village. He immediately refuted the big rock shinobi. Gaara-sama is not a brat. Don't talk nonsense if you don't know anything. Infuriated by his tone, Iwagakure's big man shouted in a rough voice, "Humph! Of course I don't know. After all, you were still our enemies before. I'm here. Who knows if you can trust me? Keep your mouth clean. You rock shinobi." Sand Shinobi yelled back even louder. Behind them, some people may agree, or some may be worried about this temporary alliance. It must be said that the Ninja Alliance at this time is filled with smoke of hatred. Not to mention uniting against the enemy. If it continues, it will inevitably lead to internal strife. As if to confirm the thoughts of the ninjas in the previous villages, the white-eyed ninja, wearing a Konoha shinobi vest, said to his Konoha colleagues next to him, "To be honest, I think so too." "Yes, what did you just say?" Fire disciples sang. Although it is said that Orochimaru was deceived, Sand Shinobi Village is the mastermind of Konoha's collapse plan. If it weren't for them, Master Hiruzen wouldn't. His clenched fists showed his hatred for Sand Shinobi. Looking at the sad expression of Hyuga's fire disciple in the video, 30 Genin and their Genin mentors who came to Konoha for reference were all surrounded by Konoha Umbu in an instant. Baki of Sand Shinobi Village knew that Sand Shinobi had no chance as early as the second Hokage, Senju Tobarama, known as the fastest ninja in the world, was resurrected. He gestured to the ninjas of Sand Shinobi not to resist. The top priority now is to wait for the video to finish playing, receive information about the 4th Ninja War, and get in touch with the 4th Kazekage as soon as possible. Yeah. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a puff of his pipe, sign that this feeling of being sentenced to death by the future was really subtle. Orochimaru, you actually got to this point. Night-aim, Orochimaru is my disciple. He was expelled from the village many years ago for stealing Konoha Shinobi's research on cruel human experiments. Now he's a rebel ninja. The old Sarutobi Hiruzen lost the vitality in Senju Tobarama's memory. "I am very sorry, Mr. Tobarama," waving his hand. Senju Tobarama, who had just been resurrected not long ago, didn't care, who hasn't brought up a few stupid apprentices who have no future. Not only did he know that Hiruzen died at the hands of Orochimaru, but he also knew that Orochimaru was hiding in the woods at this time, among the leaves. Well, Subconsciously, Sarutobi Hiruzen, Mito Kato Hamura, and Udatain Koharu all stood in the military posture of the Konoha shinobi army, just like they did when they were scolded by the teacher. Senju Tobarama knew there was a misunderstanding by looking at their looks, and patted Sarutobi Hiruzen on the shoulder. "You did a good job, Monkey Yo. You have worked hard for you these years." "Teacher." Sarutobi Hiruzen was so moved that he almost burst into tears. Danzo, hiding in the root, sneezed. "Danzo, could it be that Tobarama-sensei missed me?" The crimson eyes of the second Hokage glanced at the unusual grass ninja hiding in the dark. Orochimaru, who knew he had been warned, smiled excitedly. "As expected of that, sir. It seems that he discovered my existence early on." Orochimaru did not hide after being discovered, but stood up to watch the show more openly. In the video, Konoha shinobi next to Hyuga's fire disciple is trying to smooth things over an embarrassment. Don't say that. It's rare to be assigned to an elite surprise attack force. There's still a long way to go. Fire refiner, I understand. This is a decision made by the country and the village. I don't want to oppose it. This is just my personal emotion. Hyuga Hayashi. Because your personal emotions affect the mission and even spread negative emotions to your colleagues. Do you need to go to the ninja school to relearn the heart of a ninja? The Hulian disciple who was watching the video froze. Yes. Master, go back and memorize the heart of a ninja 100 times. Yes. Sarutobi Hiruzen, still as strict as ever, that Hayashi guy. Konoha guys, stop being so arrogant here. The two turn around, and the one speaking was the ninja from Cloud Shinobi Village in the Land of Thunder. Aren't those who attacked our Killer Bee-sama and those who disrupted the 5 Kage Conference all the traitorous ninjas of Konoha? How are you going to compensate for Reikage-sama's lost left hand? Facing the Cloud Shinobi Village ninja, who was so angry in the video that he wanted to kill Konoha Shinobi on the spot to avenge the two adults, Konoha's fire disciples didn't show any weakness and said back. You don't know what you Cloud Shinobi have done? If you hadn't threatened to start a war in order to steal the secret of my clan's Byakugan, Hizashi-sama wouldn't have died like that. Hyuga Hayashi, who had just trained as a fire disciple, still looked so strict, observing every commandment of the ninja heart without expression. But only he knew that the hand hidden in the sleeve of his kimono was bleeding. The death of his younger brother Hizashi was a lifelong sorrow for him as an elder brother, and it showed his incompetence as both a clan leader and an elder brother. At that time, Konoha had just experienced the Third Ninja War and had lost the golden sparkle of being the fourth Hokage due to the Nine Tails Rebellion. It could no longer suffer the torture of the war and could only swallow in the face of Cloud Shinobi Village's despicable methods. With the blood of grief and indignation on his chest, he lowered his head and signed unequal treaties one after another. Different from the calmness of the adult Hyuga in the video, Hyuga, who is less than 14 years old, tenses up and grits her teeth. Want him to cooperate with the enemy who killed his father. Do not make jokes. Brother Niji. The long-haired girl with white eyes looked at Hyuga worriedly. Niji in the video calmly analyzed from an objective perspective. After all, we have been in a state of hostility for many years because of the war between countries. Both have blood debts from the other side's ninja village, so it is inevitable that they cannot trust each other. It will be difficult to eliminate the estrangement, at least for a while. Is this the future? Why would he face those guys discussing his father's life and death so calmly in the future? Is this the fate of our branch house? Thinking of the word destiny again, Hyuga was so sick that she almost vomited. However, Narashikaku's eyes changed. From the words of the ninja in Cloud Shinobi Village, he at least got a few pieces of information. It should be updated 3 times today. 3/3. I will continue to work hard. In addition, here I would like to share some of my views on third generation. I know that many people hate this leader and the advisory group behind him because of Naruto, because of Uchiha, or because of Hyuga. But based on the actual situation, I personally think that although he did not do it perfectly in that era, combined with World War I and World War II, combined with internal and external troubles, the third generation man did his best. Not to mention Danzo, Mitokado Hamura, and Udatane Koharu. Personally, I don't want to bash third generation. I used to blame the third generation for Naruto's childhood pain, but then I read a Dainkaryu novel about the rebirth of the fourth generation, and I realized what a big deal it would be if Naruto's surname was Namikaze and people knew he was the son of Namikaze Minato. A terrible thing. As the protagonist, Naruto kills very few people, and they're all big boss-level sinners, such as Kakuzu. But the Golden Flash is not. As the #1 hero of the Third Ninja World War, he can force other ninja villages to break the first mission first rule in the heart of the ninja, and set up, seeing the Golden Flash of Konoha. Immediately escape. Mission failure will not be punished, such an extremely embarrassing extra rule. Namikaze Minato did not rely on the slogan of peace, but the real deal to kill other ninja villages out of fear. It is said in the original book that there are 50 Genin in the opponent's camp, and there is only one Namikaze Minato in Konoha, and the battle lasts only a moment. This is just one of the 3 battles that is not famous or ordinary. There is no way of knowing how many other ninjas from the ninja village died at the hands of the 4th Hokage. To be honest, Minato Papa definitely had a lot of blood debt. But not everyone is like Granny Chiyo, who stopped attacking after learning that Kakashi is not Hatake Tsukumo. Most people's choice is definitely to pay the father's debt and kill Namikaze Naruto. In that case, it wouldn't be enough for Naruto to have 3 times as many Umbu protecting him. There is also the aspect of merit. The first generation and the second generation left early. One of the 2 adults founded Konoha with a heart of benevolence, and the other established Konoha with a law. The third generation may have a lot of success in benevolence and power. The law is not as brilliant as the former's achievements, but it is essential to gradually bring Konoha to a prosperous transition. It was not that he occupied the position of Hokage. He once admired Orochimaru so much and did not give him the position of Hokage unintentionally. However, the Second Ninja World War caused so much damage to Orochimaru, Jiraiya, and Tsunade that they're still young and have to work hard in Konoha. But the 3 students have defected or traveled around the world. After 3 battles, I finally had another Golden Flash, but unfortunately, anyway, maybe like Obito, I don't really want to bully the elderly, but I think third generation is really not easy. If you think about the matter of Uchiha and Hyuga carefully, there are many prerequisites. As mentioned in the article, the time between World War II and World War III was not long. After the war, Konoha was left in ruins, and the golden sparkle that could suppress other countries was gone. Any decision made at that time may directly trigger the Fourth War, and it is very likely that other ninja villages will unite to bully Konoha. There is too little information revealed about the White Fang in the original work, so it is difficult to judge. But if it is indeed the Hokage who is unfair, then I think Kakashi will not become a complete Hokage faction. Chapter 14, Predicting the Future 3 years later, however. Narashikaku's eyes changed. From the words of the ninja in Cloud Shinobi Village, he at least got a few pieces of information. First, someone attacked Killer Bee, but not to his death. As the captain of Konoha Genin, Cloud Shinobi Village 8 Tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee, he still knows. A ninja who can hurt a perfect Jinchuriki has at least Kaga level strength. Second, the person who attacked Killer Bee in the Five Shadows Conference was not alone. There are at least 2 or more of them, and they're all rebel ninjas from Konoha. One person is known to be an unidentified masked man who possesses a Sharingan. Theoretically, the other person should be Uchiha Itachi, a rebellious ninja who is part of the Akatsuki organization along with the masked man. Third, the masked man or another person caused irreparable damage to Reikich's left arm. Nara lit a cigarette and blew out a smoke ring. It's so troublesome. I really want to go home and eat Yoshino's food. Why do so many ninjas above Kaga level want to become rebel ninjas? They're all from the same family. And the legendary ninja, Uchiha Madara back then. What secrets were hidden in Uchiha that caused them to undergo huge changes one after another? It is said that Tobarama-sama of second generation is an expert on Uchiha. Let's ask third generation Sama to introduce him to him sometime. I'm causing trouble for myself again. What a hassle. The previous quarrel between Sand Shinobi and Rock Shinobi in the video has reached the point of fighting. It's not just the two of them. There are quarrels of words everywhere in the Ninja Alliance Brigade. In more serious cases, they are at each other's throats. So what bothers me the most is Iwagakure. Hey, that Kirigakure, what did you just say? The Kirigakure ninja turn around. If you hear it, there's nothing you can do about it. I said Iwagakure are all barbarians who don't understand etiquette. You got it. The ninjas in Rock Shinobi Village are generally bigger, so they grabbed the Kiri ninja by the collar and lifted him up. The Miss Shinobi ninja was unmoved, but calmly recounted the hatred of the past, our tragedy of Yuan Pass, and the hatred of Iwagakure for betraying us. I clearly remember them all. Yuan Pass? I'm so embarrassed to mention such a cliché thing. It is precisely because of Yenlio's will to long for peace alone in prison that I accepted such a troop organization. In the eyes of the Mist Shinobi ninja, it was the back of his most admired senior walking towards the Abyss prison. But now, it seems Miss Shinobi still can't join forces with Rock Shinobi. The atmosphere is getting weirder and weirder. The 80,000-strong ninja coalition has not yet set off the battle, but internal strife has already left them in chaos. Earth Country Iwagakure, that's right. Just let me cooperate with the guys from Mist Shinobi. That's right, they say we are barbarians. Have they forgotten their title of Blood Mist? After all, what on earth is Konoha doing? Can't you even deal with the traitorous ninjas in your own family? The Land of Water, Kirigakure, Lord Yenlu. Is Lord Yenlu in jail? In Toga, Iwagakure those bastards. Sure enough, the Ninja Alliance is impossible. Country of Wind, Sunagakure. So this image must be a conspiracy created by Konoha. How can Gaara become the Kazekage and the commander-in-chief of the Ninja Alliance? Don't laugh to death. What's more, our fourth Kage-sama is still very young, so there's no way we can take that monster's turn to be the Kazekage. You still blame us for the death of the third Hokage. Does Konoha want to start a war? The country of Thundercloud, Shinobi Village. You actually said that you hurt one of our Raikage arms? Guys from Konoha are really good at talking. No. That's what our people said. Are you stupid? How could someone hurt Master AI? This must be Konoha's conspiracy. Fourth Raikage AI. No matter what, give me more manpower and don't allow Killer Bee to leave the island. Cloud Shinobi Ninja. Yes. Akatsuki organization by then. Only Pain, Konin, and Madara will be left. Pain looked at Madara. What do you think? Uchiha Obito lowered his voice to Uchiha Madara. There is news from White Zetsu that the images we saw are currently being screened around the world, and our plans have been disclosed in advance. Konin, do you know who did this? Before Obito could say anything, White Zetsu emerged from the ground. Madara, there's interesting news, Konoha's second Hokage, Senju Tobarama, has been resurrected. What? Pain, Konin, and Obito's expressions changed. What do you mean? Orochimaru's impure world, reincarnation. White Zetsu. No, it's a genuine resurrection. I seem to be much younger, it's great. I don't know what I looked like when I was young. Maybe I was a handsome man, even more handsome than Madara. The three of them have long been accustomed to White Zetsu's way of speaking, and currently there is no information more attractive than the resurrection of Second Hokage. You guys wait and see what happens. I'll go to Konoha. After Obito finished speaking, he had already entered the Kimui space and escaped. Fire Country Kanahagakure Hokage-sama. The ninja responsible for receiving the information knelt down in front of the second-generation and third-generation ninjas. What's up? According to the information coming, knowing that the images they saw were being broadcast around the world, third Hokage felt 10 years older for a moment. Fortunately, Mr. Tobarama is here. Otherwise, he really wishes he could die where he is. Senju Tobarama smiled calmly. It seems that the Five Shadows Conference does not need to wait until 3 years later. Chapter 15 Bloodthirsty Shura Crawls Out of Hell. Guys from Konoha. Want to fight? Cloud Shinobis. Sooner or later you will betray everyone anyway. You Rock Shinobi. Mist Shinobi only use words? One of them speaks with fists. You'd better keep your mouth clean. What did you say? Are you going to fight? Oh, that's exactly what I meant. Speaking of which, my father was killed by your sand shinobi. Now you want to die? I will make it happen for you. Facing this scene, Kakashi, the captain of the third team on the high platform, sighed deeply. At this moment, a small sand escaper appeared among the quarreling ninjas. The exploding gravel successfully separated them, but did not hurt them at all. Immediately afterwards, one sand escape after another, and all the quarreling guys in the entire ninja alliance were separated. The ninja who uses sand release is undoubtedly the commander-in-chief of the ninja alliance, Kazekage Gaara. Faced with the ninja coalition who doubted each other, Gaara finally spoke. For the interests of their respective countries and the interests of their respective ninja villages, in the long war from the first to the third ninja war. As ninjas, we hurt each other and hatred. This is absolutely correct. The people in front of the video did not bother to speculate on how such words could be said by Gaara. They were all thinking about one word, and that was war. For the good of the village and the country. Some people lamented that the faces of their dead companions have never been forgotten, and the names on the memorial tablet represent the short but glorious lives. A good opening. Senju Tobarama has never been shy about praising outstanding juniors. Gaara looked at the image, wondering what the person in the image was going to say. War and killing were their destiny. Killing the other party and surviving proves the meaning of one's own existence. Otherwise, it is meaningless. Gaara, Temari glanced at her brother worriedly. Kankuro was much more awkward than her sister. She also wanted to care about her brother, but she felt that the broken brother had never respected her brother. Gaara, who is about 3 years later in the video, continues, "It is because of this hatred and thirst for power that I was born." Closing his eyes, the handsome guy Feng, who has always been cold and even a bit dull, looks so sad, bitter. His emotions infected the ninjas of the Ninja Alliance. They looked at the two young boy on the stage in surprise, waiting for what he would say next. People who are familiar with Gaara have already cast distressed and worried looks at him. Born out of hatred, Naruto grabbed the clothes on his chest. He was suddenly afraid of what Gaara would say next. It was an instinct, similar to the instinct of animals against natural disasters. He had a feeling that he was the same as Gaara. Resonating and fearing Gaara in the image will peel away the layers of darkness in their hearts. However, of course, Gaara in the image could not sense his fear, and the next words quickly came out of his mouth. I used to be hate. I was power. I was the weapon of the village. I was the power of the sacrifice. Jinchuriki. As soon as these words came out, many ninjas who knew what Jinchuriki meant immediately moved away from Gaara and cast looks of fear and disgust at him. Just by that look, they separated themselves from Gaara and drew the line between humans and monsters. Gaara's eyes were slightly bloodshot, and the corners of her mouth were raised with murderous intent. That's right. I used to be Jinchuriki of One Tail, Suna no Shikaku. I had powers that I couldn't control. I could be regarded as a weapon or a monster. Yes, he is a monster, a murderous weapon that took the life of his mother at birth. Naruto, Sasuke, and Irika immediately noticed something was wrong with Naruto and noticed that he was shaking so badly. Sasuke suddenly realized that all the eyes of him and Kaizen, who had been vaguely surrendering before, were focused on Naruto and Gaara, the Sand Shinobi, 10 times more malicious than before. Dozens of times, 100 times. It seems like Naruto and Gaara represent war. What does the village's weapon, Jinchuriki, mean? Obviously, Naruto doesn't have the power of Gaara. Naruto did not respond to Sasuke, but looked at the back of the third Hokage and asked with a trembling voice, "Grandpa, what does the power of sacrifice, Jinchuriki, mean?" The only people who responded to him were the painful eyes of the third generation and the sighs of the second generation. Sorry, Naruto. I hate this world. I hate humans. Gaara's words hit people's hearts. I intend to destroy everything. Just like what Akatsuki plans to do now. Gaara. Temari's painful eyes betrayed her. Although she was afraid of Gaara, she was one of the few people who had never thought of being completely isolated from Gaara. In front of the Shinobi Alliance team, Gaara conveyed his pain, sadness, and hatred. Let the world feel pain. Let the world understand pain. Let the world accept pain. Then, they can become one. Just like only Jinchuriki can understand Jinchuriki's pain, the whole world can become one, understand each other, and have the same mind. So sad Naruto sat on his knees on the ground, curling up with his thin body compared to his peers. Naruto. Sasuke saw Naruto like this, as if he saw himself on the night of the genocide. He realized for the first time, there is no difference in pain. There is no such thing as stupid words that don't understand his pain. What happened to Naruto? Why does even third Hokage have to apologize? What exactly are the power of sacrifice and Jinchuriki? Sasuke vaguely realized what kind of power helped Naruto defeat Shiro in the Land of Waves and save both of their lives. Senju Tobirama sensed that Naruto's inner chakra was a little disturbed due to emotional interference, and immediately squatted down and used Senju's yang chakra to help him soothe the cold chakra of Nine Tails in his body. In the video, Gaara's words attracted the entire ninja alliance. No one thought about their own pain anymore. The emotional connection sublimated their structure. They thought about the pain of the whole world. As humans and ninjas, they were treated as props, pain as weapons. However, this, is the most powerful voice in Gaara's words in the video. It is a turning word. However, a ninja from Konoha stopped me. Chapter 16, Awakening Fighting Spirit Orange Hero. In the video, Gaara's words attracted the entire ninja alliance. No one thought about their own pain anymore. The emotional connection sublimated their structure. They thought about the pain of the whole world. As humans and ninjas, they were treated as props, pain as weapons. However, this, is the most powerful voice in Gaara's words in the video. It is a turning word. However, a ninja from Konoha stopped me. The people in front of the Konoha image were stunned. Someone could make Gaara say such words 3 years later. Then this ninja should be the one who stopped him during the Chunin exam, right? Could it be Genin too? Impossible. How is it possible that Genin can defeat that god of death? Only a few senior officials in Konoha who knew the situation looked at Naruto with relief in their eyes. The only one who can stop Jinchuriki is Jinchuriki. Senju Tobirama. Is he really that kid? He is such an amazing ninja. He has the ability to change people's hearts since he was a child. This is even better than his elder brother. Second Hokage recalled that during the Fourth World War, the blonde boy shared his feelings with everyone in the Ninja Alliance through the secret ninjutsu of the Yamanaka family. His words, "I don't want to regret it anymore," awakened many people who were already planning to give up. Gaara in the video fell into memories, and the picture actually reflected what he was thinking. Yamanaka Haichi was amazed that the people behind the scenes could actually read minds with their Yamanaka secret technique. Nara Shikaku was irritated and troubled. Sunagakure and Konoha village's tailed beast Jinchuriki were exposed to the whole ninja world. The picture was so beautiful that he didn't even dare to think about it. In Gaara's memory, a blonde boy about the same age as him gradually emerged. Blonde hair, blue eyes, wearing a Konoha forehead protector, cat-like whiskers on his cheeks, and a smiling face that is the opposite of Gaara's sunshine. Fourth generation. No, it's Naruto. Damn it, those blonde hair and blue eyes almost made him look wrong. The candidates who took the Chunin exam were all shocked. Could it be? I remembered the bold statement made by the golden-haired boy in the examination room who slapped the table. Uzumaki Naruto. I will never run away, even if I am a genin for the rest of my life. I will show you as a Hokage. Let the whole village recognize my existence. Could it be? The answer is not the Hokage, not the people of the village, not Genin, but Uzumaki Naruto. At this time, even Gaara looked shocked. Just now, when the golden retriever came to challenge him, he seemed to be too lazy to pay attention. How could he, a weak and powerless guy, stop himself as a weapon of the Kingdom of Wind? Gaara, are you talking to me? Naruto, who had regained his energy with the help of second Hokage, Sasuke, Iruka, Lil Sakura, and others, stupidly knelt on the ground in an M-sitting position and looked at the video. the figure that appeared in Gaara's mind. Is that what I looked like when I grew up? He's very handsome, I say. Although little Sakura thought so too, she still complained out of habit. No way, he must have beautified you, in his impression. Why does he want to embellish what I said in his memory? Little Sakura was stunned. She always felt that there was something wrong with what she said, and she couldn't find a specific problem. Only Mikoto saw his youngest son curling his lips in displeasure. How interesting. Naruto-kun and little Sasuke, what Naruto didn't know was that when his face appeared on the image, the intelligence departments of other ninja villages immediately began to work. The person who could stop Jinchuriki from becoming a Kazekage and later served as the captain of the Genin Alliance Brigade must not be underestimated. Got it. The sad music seems to play out the hole in Gaara's heart. He is lying in the woods, and a golden head not far away is slowly creeping towards him. It's Gaara now? Gaara in the video is wearing the same clothes as now. In the end, what happened? At this point, even Gaara can't wait to know. If anything could really pull him out of hell and turn this monster into a human being, Gaara didn't know how to express it, but the strange question suddenly appeared in his mind. After the war is over, come and chop off my head. Don't come. Gaara in the image actually flinched out of fear. Chapter 17 Sand Shinobi Shura is afraid of Naruto. Don't come. Gaara in the image actually flinched out of fear. Defeated. The people of Sand Shinobi Village looked at the image and were surprised that someone could defeat that monster. Of course, the golden head refused to listen and stuck to the ground bit by bit, crawling over like a bug. Combined with the previous content, although it is unbelievable, the people in front of the image basically have a psychological expectation. Sure enough, the thick white collar, blue shoulders, and large patches of bright orange. Naruto. Naruto opened his bright blue eyes. Why are you all looking at me? Little Sakura pointed at the image and shouted at him. Idiot Naruto, that's you. I know. Do you understand? Sasuke sighed. According to what it means, you defeated that Sand Shinobi guy. Yeah, that guy's whole body is filled with the strong smell of blood. He is a monster who has killed countless people. Right, Akamaru? Akamaru, ouch. Kiba, Naruto, you can't fight that kind of monster unless you have to know, even if you have to. That idiot. After seeing the cause and effect, Sasuke and Shikamaru wanted to plug Ya's mouth. Naruto squinted his eyes and frowned. I'll tell you that. Yeah, can you not stop the monster and the monster scream? Although he is silly every day and often does meaningless pranks, he seems to have a beast-like instinct. He realizes that Gaara is the same kind as him. So when Tooth said Gaara was a monster, Naruto felt very painful. It hurts so much. I don't know if it hurts because of Gaara or because Tooth said they were monsters. You wanted to speak, but Shikamaru covered his mouth. It was worrying to see Naruto with his head lowered and not chirping like before. You're a fool. What are you thinking about? That head of yours is not suitable for thinking about complicated things. What are you talking about, BD Sasuke? Naruto muttered softly. Even quarreling with Sasuke was listless. I mean, you are who you are. Don't think too much, idiot. Sasuke turned away, feeling that he was really inappropriate to say such things. Sasuke. Naruto's big blue eyes seemed to be shining with water. He understood what Sasuke meant, and he was suddenly so happy. Since becoming Genin, Irika-sensei, Kakashi-sensei, Sasuke, Sakura, and Shikamaru, who is in the same class, are no longer alone. I am so happy every day and feel that I am really living in this world. Suddenly regaining his energy, Naruto stretched out his thumb. Just wait. Idiot Sasuke. Sooner or later, I will become a Hokage and let everyone recognize my existence. Humph big idiot. Then, the duplicitous Sasuke-san was rubbed on the head by his mother, Uchiha Mikoto. Oh, do you want to become a Hokage? Second Hokage Senju Tobirama said with a smile. It's not that you can get everyone's approval if you become a Hokage, but you can only become a Hokage if you get everyone's approval, but you can't listen to me now. Understand, you're a natural idiot after all. Naruto blinked at him, trying to digest the meaning of his words. However, second generation suddenly turned around. I am optimistic about you and want to become an excellent Hokage. Naruto. Oh, Naruto suddenly became more confident. Just wait. Clean brother. Call me second-generation master. What does it matter? I still go to Hokage Rock often. Well, I'm extremely sorry. Second Hokage-sama. It's because I, as a teacher, failed to educate Naruto well. Please bypass this child. Iruka pressed Naruto's head and lowered his head to apologize with his skilled movements. Once or twice. Snort. Sarutobi Hiruzen held his chest and sighed. Naidame, a child that even Mr. Tobarama recognizes? Great, Minato and Kushina, you have a wonderful baby. Gaara looked at the golden head in the distance, and then at the person in the image crawling towards her. Uzumaki, Naruto. The golden head in the image is raised. The blood on the forehead dyes the cheeks red, and the blue eyes are filled with sadness. He was very close to Gaara, but Gaara fell to the ground and seemed to have lost the ability to move. The blood on his forehead was no less than Naruto's, and his clenched teeth were trembling slightly. It was a look that no one who knew Gaara had ever seen before. 3 points of fear, 5 points of sadness, and the remaining 2 points, are they grievances? That Shura is actually feeling aggrieved? Chapter 18, there are no enemies at this moment. The golden head in the image is raised, the blood on the forehead dyes the cheeks red, and the blue eyes are filled with sadness. He was very close to Gaara, but Gaara fell to the ground and seemed to have lost the ability to move. The blood on his forehead was no less than Naruto's, and his clenched teeth were trembling slightly. It was a look that no one who knew Gaara had ever seen before. 3 points of fear, 5 points of sadness, and the remaining 2 points, are they grievances? That Shura is actually feeling aggrieved? Your mood, your pain, are all the same as mine. That feeling is too painful alone. No one needs us, as if we're the only troublemakers in this world. So I really can't watch it. You don't care. The trembling voice and the blue eyes gave people the illusion that its owner would cry in the next second. Gaara was stunned. He yelled at Uzumaki Naruto over there without even thinking. What do you know? What can you know? As a weapon, it is enough to know a little. That is, to kill the stronger guy, prove your existence. I was born for this. Born to hate. Born to war. Gaara. Temari behind him was about to cry. Kankuro pursed his lips and felt extremely uncomfortable. Gaara. Naruto answered instead of Naruto in the image. The young Naruto, who looks about 4 years old, pulls Gaara, who is also the same age. Gaara turns around and looks at Naruto. The two of them gradually look like they're 17 or 18 years old. Naruto treated Gaara like a good friend, without any fear or disgust. Gaara. I don't know what happened, but Naruto's voice called Gaara was soft and strong, which made Gaara, who was unable to sleep as a one-tailed Jinchuriki, feel so reassured that she could fall asleep immediately. Naruto. The image switches back and forth between close-ups of Gaara and Naruto's eyes, gentle blue eyes, and green pupils that are so shocked that they are unbelievable. The young male and female ninjas present suddenly felt suffocated. A little girl who was far away and not a ninja held her heart and suddenly screamed, "Oh, what a great bond, sorry, ninja's ears." Naruto's face suddenly turned red. What is this?" I said. I don't know anymore," I said. He didn't even dare to look at Gaara now. My mind is full of what my future self has experienced. Is he on such a good terms with that Sand Shinobi guy? In the end, he and Sasuke didn't have such a good relationship. What are you doing? You idiot. Why are you blushing? Naruto turned his head and responded in a weird voice. It's okay, Sasuke. You are the most annoying. Sasuke, you. Other village ninjas who saw this scene. Sand Shinobi village, no more running away. This is Konoha's conspiracy. Clouds, fog, rocks. It seems that the alliance between Konoha and Sand Shinobi will be quite strong in the future. Dawn, Konin. I seem to see Yahiko and Nagato from before. Daimyo, what on earth are those ninjas doing? Why is it that one moment there's a ninja alliance, the next there's a ninja war, and now there are tens of thousands of people expressing friendship to friends? We don't understand this wave of operations. We really don't understand. After the two teenagers in the image looked at each other deeply, Gaara looked around in surprise. The figures hidden by the white light finally appeared. They were the ninjas of Sand Shinobi. Following a shot looking down from a high altitude, almost all the backbone of Sand Shinobi, including Temari and Kankuro, arrived. There are also several people from Konoha and Uzumaki Naruto and
No more novels? Take part in the voting. The most requested novels and those with the most likes will be chosen for publication on euroaudiobooks.com. There, I can upload as much as I want without the risk of receiving a strike. Our 18 novels and other content that exceed what is morally acceptable are only published on Patreon or the free novels page. Remember, the site is funded by donations on Ko-fi and Patreon memberships.